So please take note. So
All right, Prof.
what is your index for artificial intelligence?
It's
It is
what
an
I
amalgamation of what? A combination of what?
internet usage, robotics, and the revenue of robotics.
So that is the one in column L.
Yes.
And then you have
Maybe,
everything in percentage.
yes.
Have you organized it in an ascending or descending order? No.
Are you meaning from the actual? No, because it's years here, Prof. This was till the last 30 years.
Okay. So
Maybe
this is
let me remind you.
remind me.
Yeah, we did have, I think, a few conversations. You called me up even once.
Which I have forgotten.
So, yeah, so what you mentioned, right, if I understood correctly, because this data here, I think actually starts on the number of actual robots that was deployed in South Africa is actually 2015 is when South
Where is
Africa
the
got its
date? You
first
are talking
robot.
around the date. Where is the date here?
Okay, I just never freeze the columns. There's the dates there. Right.
Mhm.
So, you on the other,
Go up so that I'll see the heading whilst you are talking. Mhm.
yes. Okay. So I forgot what's that analysis, Dumisani, what's that name again? To predict missing, I forgot the name now.
Interpolation.
Interpolation, yes. So we couldn't apply that here because we couldn't predict anything because
You
this
can use the
indeed.
average of everything and then use the average to fill in the gap.
Yeah, I think this is the one I spoke to you about, Prof. Because here, even having
You forget.
variables
You
here.
said you've spoken to me, so it means that you are sorted with that then. Then you can go ahead and do that, isn't it?
No. Maybe just going quickly back. So here, I couldn't use any method, interpolation, or averaging or anything because this was non-existent in the country at that stage.
When
I
I
think I
say
shared with you
average, I'm
some.
saying average of everything you have.
Okay.
Average of 109, 83, 80, blah, blah, blah. Average of everything you have above and below, you take that average and fill it in for the rest.
I'm not following now, Prof.
Okay. You know where you have the zeros?
Yes.
Okay. Hold the number 9, the first cell, 109.7. The first cell,
109.
L4. Click on L4, cell L4.
Okay. L4. All right.
J4, sorry. Drag it to 11.
To
I didn't
11.
say, no, I didn't say you should drag it the way you are doing it. I mean, highlight it
Okay.
from J4 to J11. Good.
All
Now, at
right.
the bottom, do you see average, which is 68?
Correct.
Good. Use that average to fill in the gap for the rest.
Oh, okay. So then I could just work on that base of 68.
Correct.
Okay, there you answered me. I just didn't really get you too much when you responded.
That is
Okay,
why,
but thank you,
you see
Prof.
why I said you should bring your Excel. So imagine if I was talking in the air and you don't have your data opened, you will not understand what I mean. I saw that you were going round. That is why I said you should just go and click and then do.
Okay, no,
So that
no,
is going to be your
then
simplest way to get those places filled.
okay. So I'm gonna work with this average, that average of 68 right until the first year.
Yes.
All right, okay. No, perfect. Okay. So in my actual write-up, should I cover the part of why I used that 68?
Yeah,
Or is
but
it
you're not
not
going to
necessary?
mention 68. Just say that you took the
Okay.
average and then you use the average to handle the missing values. That's all.
Missing values. Okay. And then that will be complemented with the literature that I actually have, which actually proves when those robots were actually arrived in South Africa, right?
It doesn't mean that what you have done is correct. You have only used it to solve an issue. It doesn't mean that those values actually did happen exactly as you have said.
Okay, all
But
right.
it means
Okay.
that you are solving a methodological issue to be able to proceed with your work.
Okay. So the impact on that would only be on my regression, am I correct? My regression analysis.
Yeah, just that.
Okay. So that means I'm still good with Excel then. If my laptop cannot be resuscitated.
Yeah, before I can conclude that you are now good with Excel, I need to know what is your dependent and what is your independent variable.
Okay.
What is your model?
Let me. This was the one that I was
Yeah,
sharing.
but this is
I
not a
actually
model.
shared with
I
you.
need your mathematical model you formulated,
Okay.
your regression model.
I'm gonna have to get another document. Just hold for me. I'm gonna share
Yeah,
it
that's why I
now.
said you should all open all your documents. Your Word document and your Excel in particular should always be open.
No, I shared with you this one, and you were quiet. So my assumption was that it was correct. Actually, I had a question that I actually wanted to ask
Well, the reason
today
why I
as
want to
well.
look at it is because I want to look at it and look at the Excel variables you also have to see whether they make sense. The model you showed me was correct, but as to whether you have variables for them, I didn't know. Okay, so
Yeah. So
what is your dependent variable? The dependent variable is always
uh,
the one on the left-hand side. So where is that?
it's GDP growth.
But why didn't you write that on the left-hand side?
Oh
Write
yeah,
that
I
now
think I
there.
just omitted
Write
it.
it now and let me see.
So you're saying here, should I type it in here the way I did with the others?
No, I said the left-hand side variable. I can't see it. And I said you should write it. Did you
Okay.
know? Did you know that the left-hand side variable is the dependent variable? Did you know?
Yes.
I
So
don't
what
think,
I'm
hold
asking here,
on, I don't think you
should I
knew.
implement it?
I don't think you knew. Did you know that the left-hand side variable is the dependent variable? Did you know
Okay, maybe I had my own understanding, but I understand it from your view now, Prof.
that if you watch my video and then if you watch the video about the Brukutu ventures, the one for what do you call it, the quantity demanded, I'm sure that's the video you watched.
Yes,
And
one,
then
I
in,
can't remember what was the name. Yeah.
well, that video had quantity demanded depending on price, the price of complement, the price of other goods, and all of that. If you watch the video, which you claim you have watched carefully, you would have noticed that the dependent variable is what is always on the left-hand side of the equation. Guys, you got to watch my video well because I did that video purposely with you guys in mind. In fact, I'm even talking about the one I did with you guys here and recorded and posted it. So if you are writing your model, your dependent, in fact, if I said that your model was correct, I made a big mistake. That this model is correct. As it stands, this model is not correct at all because it has no dependent variable, which must be on the left-hand side of the equal to before all other variables are on the right-hand side.
Oh, now I'm following before the equal to. Yes, yes. I think I just, yeah, maybe I just slipped up on
Because you
that
can't
one.
write
Okay, I
any
did see it.
model and just have equal to, and then you have everything on the right without anything on the left. So I'm asking you
Okay,
again,
no,
which variable is your dependent variable?
it's economic growth.
Yeah, but you know economic growth is not a variable you can see with your eye. So what variable do you see with your eye that represents economic growth?
GDP growth.
Okay. Now, is that GDP growth different from the GDP per capita you have?
Yes.
Good. Then on the left-hand side, right here, right now, write it. The GDP growth, write it there.
Yeah, sorry if
No,
it's
it's
gonna
not
take
in the
time. I'm gonna.
equation. Make sure it is in the equation parameter. Move one cursor right before you write. It must be inside the equation. Move the cursor one step with your arrow. Now it's in the equation. No, it's okay. You see, the box
Uh,
comes. That's when you know that it's in the equation.
okay. Sorry, I think I just missed this one. Sorry, I'm actually writing on a trackpad here, so it's a little delayed.
So you said it's GDP growth, not GDP growth rate, right?
Yes, GDP growth. It's
Perfect.
actually, yeah, actually you can say the rate as well because it's year on year.
Look, let's not joke with it. These words are very important. You got to know which one you are using. Are you using GDP or GDP growth or GDP growth rate or real GDP or real GDP growth?
GDP growth.
Or,
GDP growth.
and these values are in percentages or they are in actual
Yes.
numbers.
Percentages.
So every variable, we're going to pick on these variables one by one. And each one you pick, you have to go to the Excel and show me the column.
Okay.
I think you should toggle. You
No,
know, when you're sharing Zoom, you should share all screen. You know that one instead of window by window.
Prof, maybe let me fix up that. Not all of them are percentages. There are a few of them that are
I
actual
know, I know,
numbers.
I know. I agree. I didn't
Yeah.
say all of them. I said only GDP growth. That's what we are talking about.
Oh, okay. Yes.
But I'm talking about your screen. Anytime you have to share
Oh,
your screen, you have to turn off this before you go to the next one. And I'm saying you don't have to do that. So at the bottom of your screen, you see share in the Zoom, right?
okay.
Do you see
I'm
share
not too.
in the Zoom?
Okay, yes.
When you click on share, choose the top left, which is sharing all windows. Instead of sharing window at a
Oh,
time,
sharing my screen. Okay.
your entire screen.
Okay, I just need to
Good.
close other
Now open the
confidential
Excel.
stuff I was busy with now.
Now open the Excel and show me the GDP growth.
Here is it here.
Good. So you can see that the GDP growth is truly um, percentage growth. That's what you are using there.
Correct.
And then you have a variable, which is, so this is the only information you have on GDP, the GDP growth and the per capita GDP. Is that correct?
Yes, I also have GNP as well.
Yeah, GNP, we all know what GNP is. GNP includes people who are not living in the country. GNP includes the monies of South Africans in US, and that is difficult to capture that. So let's leave that. Let's focus on the GDP. The 2020, the GDP went to -5, isn't it? The growth,
Yes,
which means that there was a negative growth in GDP.
correct.
So these values are in percentages from what I gather.
Correct.
And when values are in percentages, you have to take the logarithm of the values. Now, you will not understand yet, but I'm coming to that. And that will change your model. And if you take the log of the values, you change the interpretation because the values are in percentages and you're going to change. Secondly, if you check my PhD note, I said all of this. Secondly, your GDP growth, it is monetary value, more or less. And because it's a sort of monetary values, it can be affected by inflation. You know that. I mean, GDP
Yes,
itself can be affected by inflation. You know that.
yes.
And so, why my question? Why didn't you get a real GDP?
Yeah, I think I can get it still, Prof. But for me, this one made more sense from a trend perspective.
From what perspective? It makes more sense
No,
from.
it's yeah, the percentage work better for me even
Anyway,
from
I
an
wish
understanding.
I wish you had real GDP growth. And let me tell you why. Because it takes care of nonlinearity, it takes care of inflation, it tells you clearly what is happening. Real is different from nominal. Real is the purchasing power. So, for example, a country can be growing so well, but inflation is also growing so well that whatever the money the country is making, inflation is depleting that from the pockets of people.
Okay, I will see what I can get on that. Yeah.
If you can get
I
real
think I
GDP, and wherever you
I
got that GDP, you can get a real GDP. It's always there.
yeah, I think I have it already in my lots
Good.
of data. I will
So
just first go check here.
let's assume that you have real GDP. If you don't get real GDP growth, but you have real GDP, it's the same thing. Just let me know. So do that quickly
Okay.
today. Do that quickly today. So right now, we don't know what is on the left-hand side. It might be real GDP or real GDP growth. So check it first.
All right.
Okay. Now go to the model. Go to the model now. And then instead of GDP growth, put into bracket in front of the GDP, before the GDP, put into bracket, before the GDP, put into bracket real. So that will reflect what you hope to get, if you get it.
Okay.
And you can see that this is only South Africa you're looking at, right?
Correct.
So because it's South Africa you're looking at, the values are not changing with individuals. So there is no I in the model subscript I that you have for each one. There is nothing like that. You should go and change it later. You should have only T because the values are changing with time, but they are not changing with individuals. So, as an example, let me just guide you with it. You have beta not IT. You see that one?
Yes.
Copy that and put it on the left after the growth. Copy that and paste it on the left after the growth.
Just the IT.
Just the beta not IT, all of that beta not IT, the whole of
Okay.
that.
Uh, I'm using a
You
trackpad
have to
now.
use you have to use your cursor. You have to click on the B in front of the B and use your
Yeah,
cursor.
I'm
Hold
not
the
using a
shift
mouse,
key
that's
and move
why.
the cursor. Are you listening?
Yes, I am, Prof. I'm saying I'm not using a mouse, that's why I'm using a trackpad. It's a little, yeah, okay. I think,
It's
okay, let me
easy.
just
I'm
do it
trying to
this
show
way.
you
I
the
will
best way to
remove it.
handle it. You don't have keyboard,
I do.
but I'm talking about keyboard.
Yeah, no. I have another device plugged in my laptop that I was actually busy with before this discussion. So if I plug out that device, what I was busy with before is going to be gone, and I'm avoiding that. Okay, like that.
Okay, so you have to remove the B. And then the real
Okay, I'll
GDP growth
fix.
must be copied and pasted into that empty box there.
Okay, just making a note of it.
No, no, I want you to do it here. You're going to make a
Mm.
mistake.
Okay, okay, never mind me if you just see my stuff busy on the screen. Uh,
Just cut it. What you've done, just cut it and paste it. Well, you rather copy than paste. Why didn't you just cut?
Yeah, I'm not using a mouse, man, or anything,
I'm
Prof.
not
Okay,
saying
but it's
mouse.
just a
You
it's
are
a
not
long
using
story.
keyboard. Is that what you're saying?
I'm using a trackpad, which is just a bit of a glorified mouse.
No, no, I'm saying keyboard, keyboard, keyboard. Are you not using keyboard?
Yeah, if I plug in this device, it sort of disables the actual keyboard. Okay, but I got it.
Just so you get it, you make a mistake because there are several things I'm going to let you change here because the model is very wrong. So now that IT that you have there, you have the I, and then you made the I also a subscript. That is wrong. So delete the IT here.
On this one.
Yeah, delete both I and T. I didn't say delete the O. I said delete the IT.
Okay.
And now change the O to T. Delete the O and replace the O
Yeah.
with T. Or delete the zero. All right. Now, that is what the rest are going to be. The rest on the right-hand side, each one of them will have a word with a subscript T.
Okay. No,
It is
thank you,
not
Prof.
for
I
the
think
beta. The betas you are is wrong. So I'm going to take the first one and correct you with it. Go to the right-hand side. You see the first beta, delete the IT
yes.
and close the gap on the left by little. Okay. Now, the second beta, delete the IT. And that is how the rest are all going to be. Now, the GDP per capita you have there, first of all, for your information, you cannot have GDP per capita and have GDP growth on the left. It's sort of tautology.
So I can actually just remove it as a variable.
Good. That will mean that you have to come and replace it with another beta one because the beta one must still be there. You know that.
Yes.
So let's go and copy the unemployment rate. By the way you've written the GDP per capita is even wrong. It shouldn't be a subscript. Right now, as it stands, it looks like it's a subscript, isn't it?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that copy that or delete the entire GDP per capita. Don't delete the beta one. Delete the entire GDP per capita. You said your cursor, it doesn't work unless you see you've gone to delete.
Uh, Yeah, that's what I
Okay, let me
error.
give
That's
you an
why I just
advice.
highlighted it now.
What you should do is go in front of the capita. Uh, yeah, and then do you have a backspace? Yeah, but you're using a backspace right now. But I told you to use it, and you said you can't use it because your computer is bogus.
I'm not using the backspace. I'm using the trackpad actually to move this thing back, Prof.
Yeah, but you can still use it, right?
Yes, yes.
Don't make me talk too much. Next time on that. Now, start typing a letter. Type capital A. Let me see. Okay, it's still subscript. Delete it. Okay, delete it one more time. One step, just one step, and one more. Okay, go back and write the one you wrote. The one you just did. Undo it.
Should I type it in now?
The number one that you deleted, bring it back.
Oh, okay. Let me just.
No, I didn't say you should bring the capital. I said just the number one. What are you writing?
Oh.
Just follow me. Close the gap. There's still an empty space there. And you see where the plus is. Move one
Yes.
step forward. Good. Now type something. Let me see. Just a letter. Good. You see now, the word is now not a subscript.
Okay. Okay, all
You have
right.
made the word unemployment rate as a subscript. It shouldn't be a subscript. You have made inflation rate as a subscript. It shouldn't be a subscript. You have made population as a subscript. It shouldn't be a subscript. You have made total revenue from robotics as a subscript. It shouldn't be a subscript. It should be big letter. By the way, I hope you understand what I mean by a subscript and not a
No,
subscript.
I see now. I'm gonna have to go do the same with all. I just want to put a
You made
question
me
mark here
talk
to
too
tell.
much. This should have been something you should have checked carefully.
Yeah, Prof, but I think you answered my part of my
I've not
second
answered
question.
anything. Just follow me here. We are not done.
Okay,
So whatever value you had there, so that word should change to unemployment rate. That's word you're about to type, and I said you should put a change that capital with a question mark. Make it unemployment rate.
but maybe, Prof, if I can, maybe if I'm so that's if I'm not gonna replace this B1 value with another variable. So that means B2 will now become B1.
Well, the thing is that unemployment rate, the way you've written it itself is going to change. You know that.
Yes, yes. In fact, all of them are gonna have to change to where
Okay, so what
what you
value do
showed
you
me
want to
now.
replace the cap question, the CA question? What
I
value?
haven't thought about it as yet. I haven't thought about it as yet. So
Okay,
my thinking was
that is
instead of
why
having
that is why I want you to pick on one variable for now first. Okay, you let's take the last variable. Write it as control of corruption. No, don't copy. Just type it. Just type where your
uh
highlight is. Right, control of
okay,
corruption. You can think about whatever variable you want to change it with next time.
okay.
But listen carefully. You are supposed to have the way you've written the real GDP growth with the subscript being T. That is what all the others are supposed to be. So the way the corruption has been written right now, it must also have a subscript T. Do you get it?
Yes, yes.
And every
So
other variable must have a subscript T. It's not the beta. It's not the betas that should have subscript like you have done.
okay. So yeah, Prof, that was
Do
part
you
of my
understand what
last
I
video
just
I
said
sent
before
you.
you said
Yes.
okay?
Yeah, if you look on your WhatsApp, I think that was the one thing I was clarifying in terms of the I and the T. Um,
Well, don't worry.
so
We are
yeah, now it
correcting it
makes
here.
sense.
That is why you are here.
Okay,
Once you understand the beta one, now the beta one, after the corruption, there must be a subscript, the same way the GDP is.
so all of them are going to read if it's beta 1, control of corruption, T. Next one, B2, T,
And yes, and remember the
unemployment rate.
T is a subscript. I just want you to
Okay,
understand that. But the control of corruption should not be a subscript like you've done wrongly for others.
okay.
I want to be clear so that I don't come back and then you show something.
So would it be easy if I just eliminate the T and where the I is, that becomes my T, or can I just take out the I?
It will still be wrong because the T is still a subscript of the number two.
A
You
subscript.
can't,
Okay, all
and
right.
it is
I
attached
must
to
just type
beta.
it in.
It's attached to
Okay,
beta.
so
It
I'll
shouldn't
just
be
type it
attached to the
in.
beta. It should be attached to the letter, the word.
Okay. Yeah, I'll rather just type it in. After B2, type it
That
in.
is
After B3,
why.
type it in.
That is why I wanted to help you to complete the corruption one alone before you go to the rest, so that you see how the rest will look like.
So then corruption one, what I'm gonna come do here is I'm gonna just put in the T. Is it fine
And you
like
can
that?
see that the T is not a subscript, what you just did.
Yes. Okay.
And it's supposed to be a subscript. Do you know how to make it a subscript now?
Yeah, I'll just
Okay.
follow
If you know,
or
that's fine.
you,
If your
or
model
or you
is
can
wrong.
show me quickly maybe because just in case if I got it wrong, bro.
Now, Remove the T that you wrote. Before you ever write the control of corruption, and delete the control of corruption, go to the head, the tab called equation at the top. And then the one with e raised to the power x, click on that. You click the second box, I think it's yet to appear. Yes, click on the second box. So that box gives you a word and then a subscript box. So you will type the corruption into the big box. Type the control of corruption into the big box. And then you type the T into the small box. That makes it a subscript. And that is what you can copy and do for all the rest.
Okay, perfect.
Now, that is just the way you write. That is not to say that the variables you have here are correct. You know that.
Yes.
Now we are going to talk about one by one whether each variable you have in there is correct. First thing, your major variable is what? Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence, yes.
That is the one that must come first. So that control of corruption should be deleted. And then you rather write artificial intelligence. By the way, you don't need to write index of artificial intelligence. You just have to write artificial intelligence.
Okay, so that actually became my B1. Okay.
By the way, let me ask you. I can see that you have total revenue from robotics.
Yes.
And then you also have index for artificial intelligence. What was the difference? What is
Yeah.
that index for artificial intelligence?
The index is what I got from the internet usage, robotics, and revenue. So that was my next question. On this model, do I just remove it and just only show the index which I have here as
Every
artificial
time I ask you
intelligence?
something, you keep saying that was my next question. That was my next question.
Yeah, I had a lot, Prof.
Okay. By the way,
So what I was saying on the video, right? Because
hold on.
the internet,
The artificial intelligence that you have written, it is italicized. It shouldn't be italicized.
okay,
And once it is in the mathematical equation, it will be italicized. So once you right click it, you just remove the italic. Click on italize at the top because you highlighted it already. Italize at the top. Yeah, that's it. And then it shouldn't be italicized. But then the beta should always be italicized. You get it?
yes,
So when you're correcting the rest, you just have to copy the beta one artificial intelligence subscript T and paste it, and then you can edit it for the others.
okay, no, perfect. Maybe,
All
Prof,
right.
if I can just finish my next question, right? So how I got my index was sum of the internet usage, total robotics, and the revenue, right? Do I need to show these as well, or can I just
Never,
show the
never show them because they are all captured in the index.
yes, okay, no, perfect.
Everything that you added together to get something, you're not supposed to bring them again.
Okay, so I can have it there as my data and my explanation of how I got to the index, but for year I will only show it as the total, which is where I got the index, right? Am I
Delete
following?
them. Yeah.
All right, okay.
What? So your major variable was artificial intelligence.
Yes.
What was the next variable? Next major variable?
Unemployment rate.
No, all of these unemployment, inflation, and all of those things, they will come at the end. We call them macroeconomic factors. I was expecting that you would have checked some of the way the other papers write their models, and you would have known that these macroeconomic variables always come towards the end. Okay, so remember that I'm sure you know what I mean by macroeconomic variables.
Yes.
All of them should be at the end. Every other thing should be coming. So what is your next important variable?
Okay, I thought that one was important.
I've already told you it's not important. So you should think now about which is the other variable that is important. The reason why I'm talking more with you is because you chose to communicate your work. Whilst I was waiting for others to communicate their work, you were the one who chose to come up. That's why I'm spending time with you. You have FDI inflows.
Yes.
Does it mean there is outflows?
No, I only got it as FDI inflows. I don't think there is an outflow in South Africa, but I can check that.
So if there
So,
is
so the
no
FDI I'm speaking of
outflows,
specifically
I'm asking you
foreign direct
specific
investment.
questions so that I know whether you knew what you were doing. If you don't have
Okay.
outflows, then why do you have to specify inflows as if there is outflow? The
Yeah,
variable
so
you
I look
got,
at the FDI
why my
specifically.
question is why not just FDI? And I'm not saying
Okay,
you should do
it could
that.
be the same things. When
Huh?
when I looked at it as inflows, I just looked at it, what's coming into the country.
Yeah, but the word foreign direct investment itself, they will name. What does that tell you?
Okay, it's the same thing. Okay. Okay, so I can just call it FDI.
And this is FDI for South Africa, right?
Correct.
Okay, you have exports and you have import. Didn't you have net export?
I think I do have it, but I didn't
So
include
why
it
wouldn't you
here.
take net exports instead of having separately?
Uh, What
Okay,
I what I
now
wanted to show here is just, the makeup of the
it's
actual
wrong. It's wrong.
economy.
I'm just saying it's wrong. Don't even go there. It's wrong.
Okay.
You always want smaller number of independent variables instead of plenty, especially when they can be simplified. When they can be added, you should add them.
Okay, so I can just look at the net import and exports.
Now, you also have manufacturing output. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so basically, if you see the South African economy, uh, these are very much the same in terms of the makeup, and the rest of it is just the manufacturing output as well.
I don't get you what you mean by the rest
Meaning
of it.
this is basically finished goods that we produce from manufacturing in South Africa.
And those finished goods you produce for manufacturing companies in South Africa, they are not
Yes.
inside the export nor the import.
No, they're different.
But those finished goods would have gone already into the GDP. GDP is a basket
In a
of
way,
finished
yes.
goods.
Yes.
By the way, in your Excel, did you have it as manufacturing output? Is that what you had?
Yes.
It was written as manufacturing output.
Output, yes.
Okay. Now, all your data sample, how many are there?
I think there are 16 variables in total.
No, no, no. I'm not talking about variables. Your observations, your sample.
30 years.
30 years.
Yes.
Okay. Remove manufacturing output. Your variable shouldn't be many at all because your sample is very tiny. Okay, this control of corruption, is this something you saw or you labeled it like that?
Yeah, it's when you look at it, some people call it index, some just call it a control of
I want
corruption.
to
Like
see
this
the
one I got
original
from
source of the data. What name did they use?
control of corruption. This is from the World Bank.
They use control of corruption.
Yes, and the
Let
reason
me
why I
ask you.
didn't use,
Sorry?
I say the reason why I didn't use transparency, transparency
No, 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 no,
only
that's
has
not
the
why I'm
data, I think,
asking you
from
that.
2012.
That is not
Okay.
why I'm asking you. So what does control of corruption mean? What is the range? Is it in dollars, percentage, or what?
It's a percentage.
It's a percentage.
Yes.
So higher percentage means what? And lower percentage means what?
Yeah, the higher the actually the lower percentage means bad, the higher means good.
Say that again.
Higher means good, lower percentage means bad.
Okay, good in what?
In terms of the hold you have on actual corruption.
No, when you say good, good in what? Good in what? Higher percentage means good in what? The country is good in what? Good in marriage, good
Then
in eating.
let's say if you have a 80%, it shows this country has a good handle in terms of how they manage and control corruption.
So higher percentage means that the country is good in corruption control,
Correct.
which means that corruption is lower.
Yeah, in
Right?
South Africa, the trend for the last 30 years is on a decline.
Oh, no, no, I'm not talking about trend. For example, I'm just talking about one value. So that let's focus on one value and forget about South Africa here. I'm talking about the meaning of the variable because you got to understand the meaning of the variable and we have to know how it is connected to the left hand side. Remember, all of these variables are connected to the left hand side. You know that.
Okay. Yes. I know
So
now.
I'm now asking you here that wherever you got this variable, did they use the word control of corruption?
Correct. That's the name
And
from
did
the
they
World Bank.
explain what control of corruption means?
Yes, that's the
Good.
explanation I gave now.
No, that explanation, you should get the explanation from the data source.
Oh,
And
okay.
for each variable you got from the data source, copy that explanation they gave and put it here. Because I
So can
think
I
that
put it
sometimes you use your
in
mind to
brackets
tell
here?
me what you think it is, when in fact that is not what it is.
So meaning I can open brackets and put it in here.
No, 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 no. Uh-uh.
Or on my variables,
It should
on my
come
actual
way
data.
below. It should explain it way below the
Oh,
model.
okay. So just a normal point there.
You should explain it below. I just don't understand the meaning. So I was deliberately asking you of the meaning of control of corruption, what it actually means, for you to tell me what it means from the source, not from your head, but from the source. So if you can copy the way they explained it from the source and put it here for each variable, that would be good.
Okay.
So if you have a positive value, if the beta coefficient is positive for control of corruption, what would that mean? Suppose the beta coefficient is, say, 10, positive 10. What would that mean?
I'm not sure, Prof.
Okay. That is why. So, what do you think is the relationship between control of corruption and GDP? Is it positive or negative? And remember, whichever answer you say, I'll ask you to explain.
Yeah, I would say negative.
That is wrong. I would have said positive.
Oh, okay. If you're controlling it well, then it would be positive.
What is if you control it well? The word is control. Control here is a positive thing that you have said. Corruption is a negative thing, presumably.
Oh,
Control
okay.
here is supposed to be a positive thing. Otherwise, there is no need to bring control in front of corruption. Why? If corruption is positive, if corruption is assumed to be positive, you wouldn't want to control it, isn't it?
Okay, I'm following
If
now.
war, if war, is war positive or negative?
It's negative.
Exactly. So there are certain things that we know them to be generally negative. But of course, Vladimir Putin will not tell you that war is negative. You know that, right?
I guess.
What is your guess? It is. He will not tell you that war is negative. That's why he's war. He's warring. So what I'm saying is that there are certain things we know them to be negative or we know them to be positive. Okay? But depending on some circumstance, it might not be positive or negative, but it doesn't mean that the general knowledge of them changes. So let me ask you, food, the general knowledge of food, is it positive or negative?
Positive.
Yeah, but you can eat some food that is not good for you. So if corruption is negative, or you think corruption is positive, generally,
No, no, it's
good. And I
negative.
can also prove to you that there are studies that shows that corruption is good. You know that.
Yeah, maybe not in South Africa. Yeah.
Yeah, but my good friend, don't start thinking everything about South Africa, South Africa, South Africa. You are talking to the world before you particularize it for South Africa.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I don't want you to start thinking that the only thing you're doing is for South Africa. So what others have said somewhere, you don't want to take it. You are working in a literature, so obviously you got to relate your work to what others say. There is an argument that communist countries, corruption is good because when communist governments are corrupt, and you should bring this in your work, in your literature, in your conclusion, in your work. And it is in the papers. I think I've given it to you before. When communist countries are corrupt, they take the money and they use the money to develop the economy. Haven't you read this in your reading?
Yeah, I haven't read much on corruption as yet, Prof.
Okay, so you haven't read it. Well, I'm telling you, you should go and read it. In some of the papers I gave you, they discussed it. They discuss it even in the papers, the few papers I gave you. So corruption is said to be neither good. Okay, so the conclusion has been that corruption, the conclusion is not clear. There's a conclusion that is not clear that we are not clear whether corruption benefits or corruption does not benefit. Because some studies say that corruption is good, some studies say that corruption is bad. Of course, there's more studies that say it's bad than those that say it's good. But look at China. You know, China is said to be a corrupt country with a government. You don't know.
Yeah, I see in the news, but yeah, I don't really read much about it.
By the way, um, um, you know, people in Vladimir Putin's country themselves, they are speaking against his government as being corrupt. You know that.
Yes, that one is clear.
Yeah, but then the economy is doing very well. And that's the same thing with South Korea. That's the same thing with China. That's the same thing with most of the, you know, communist countries, so-called, so-called quote unquote dictatorial countries. So my point I'm
The
saying
Gaddafi, similar to Gaddafi story.
exactly similar to Gaddafi. Now you get it. So what I'm saying is that do not go with one-sided mind because you might go and do your result, and your result will indicate that corruption is good. Now then you're confused. Now, how do you interpret that? Because you're already saying that corruption is not good for South Africa. It's not good for South Africa. You just don't know how research can break you down. Don't go with a one-sided mind. Okay, so corruption right now, generally, corruption is bad, generally. That is why they have control of corruption. So if control of corruption is high, if it is positive, if the beta coefficient is positive, it means that a higher control of corruption will lead to a higher GDP. Do you understand?
Okay.
If the value is positive. Right now, you've written the value as positive, but it's because it's not a number yet. Beta 15 is positive because it's not a number yet. When it is a number, we will know whether it's positive or it's negative. And I'm telling you that if it is positive, it means that the control of corruption is good, also increases real GDP. But if it's negative, it means that the control of corruption is not good for real GDP. It means that they should even stop controlling corruption. That's what it will mean. And allow the corrupt practices to move on. And at that stage, you are going to call me and say, Doctor, I don't understand why this is the conclusion. Because in South Africa, everything about corruption is not good and all of that. But I will tell you that no, 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 Jonathan. The thing is that if you have read the literature, you have seen that you are not the first person to conclude like that. It is possible that it is good some way, but you are thinking it's bad. So maybe the corruption is good in the sense that the government are corrupt. They use the corrupt money to build infrastructure at different places, but not for the majority of the people. That's what it means. So majority of people think it's bad, but then those who are benefiting from the corruption don't think it's bad. Do you know that? You, Jonathan, if you are benefiting from corruption, would you say it's bad? The
No.
contracts that your company has been getting, do you know that some of them are corrupt contracts? That is why a
I don't
laptop
want to
is not
say my
working.
company, but
That
yeah.
is not why
No,
a
but
laptop is
Prof,
not working.
no, no, no. You actually right, né? Because I think before I had something showing the presidents in South Africa. Actually, when we perceive Jacob Zuma as the most corrupt president, but there was more infrastructure development in his time than now.
Now you see,
Uh,
now you get it.
yeah.
That's why I say you have to think wider and not take a bit of myopic view. You have to think, hypermetropic, so that when things change in your values, you will not be one-sided. All right. So the next thing that must come after artificial intelligence, because the next thing that must come after artificial intelligence should be the FDI. Then, after the FDI, you should have the control of corruption. Then, after that, you should have the yellow one, which is the net export. Do you get it?
Okay, so FDI, control of corruption, and then the net imports, and then the rest is going to be, if I
Net
can say,
export,
macro
not net
variables.
import, net
Yeah,
export.
I mean, sorry, net exports.
Then you have GMP in the list. It should not come. You have GMP per capita. That is also useless. It shouldn't come. Both of them should be deleted because you've taken care of GDP already. So you should have FDI, control of corruption, net export, and then population. After that, you can bring your unemployment and inflation rate in that order. Oh, and by the way, your UI should be UT and not I.
Okay. Okay. No, thank you, Prof.
Now, so these variables that we have spoken about here, these are the variables you should create a new Excel sheet separately for. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, because I'm following you now. Then I won't have a problem. In fact, yeah, okay. No, no, no. Then one of my problems are solved.
Once you get the Excel sheet for these, then the next thing we are going to do is that we are going to bring logarithm in front of some of the variables. We have to do log of this. Listen, when your variables are done, do you know how to take the log in an Excel?
No,
I'll give you a quick
I
example. Open
haven't ever
Excel.
heard of
Open your
logarithm.
Excel. Open your Excel very quickly. And all of you should listen, please. I can't do this for everybody because most of you will do that. Go to your last column. I just want to use and create a two empty slots after R. Just write,
Okay.
drag it to the. No, no,
Like
no,
just
you
new
haven't created. You haven't. You just expanded, right? Just click,
no, no,
right
I'm
click.
just inserting. I'm inserting.
No, you're not inserting. Did
Like,
you just insert? Okay.
yes, I did.
All right. So let's take a variable like control of corruption, which is the last one here. You see 44.57,
Yes.
44.8. Now, on the right, just on the right of that, just on the right of that, yes, click equal to and type LN. You see the word returns the natural log of a number. Double click the LN that has come. Double click. And then just copy the 44.57 and enter. Enter. That is the natural log of that number. You get it?
Okay.
If you want it,
So
yeah, go ahead.
sorry. So obviously I'm gonna do this for all my variables
Never,
that I'm gonna be.
never. You're going to do it for
Okay.
some of your variables. We'll come to that.
All right.
Okay, for some of your variables. And the way you interpret them is different. Okay. Let me quickly, because I was just looking at this today, let me quickly send you a YouTube video. And this YouTube video explains all, I mean, the way you interpret this with the dependent and independent variable. Once you have gotten it, the way you interpret it, it's a lovely. I'm sending you one video, and this video will have other ones. It's a very powerful video. I'm putting it in the group page for all of you guys. How you interpret your things. This is good. How you interpret your things in case. But then, by the way, you just did it for 44. Now click on the 3.8. Click on,
Can I
and then
drag
come
it?
to the bottom right of it. Bottom right of that letter box goes. It changes to plus. Drag it three steps. Just 3 steps. Where are you going? I just want to show you something. Relax. And that gives you the natural log of all the other numbers as well for corruption. Do you get it?
Yes, yes, I do. So
And you
I
can,
just
of
want to
course, you can do it for the others. So before you can do the
so
natural log, you have to know where you are going to place the result. So
okay.
this column, it will actually be called LN control of corruption. LN this and that. LN this and that. LN this and that. So that it becomes something that you know. So that you don't confuse it with the other ones.
So can I just show it in brackets like this L in, or do I just must the L in show in the
No, no,
front?
the LN must come in front so that you don't get confused.
Okay.
It must come always in front. Now, and that will mean that your model For those ones that we have changed, your model will also do the same thing. Your model will also have to bring the LN from. Now, let me just show you something very quickly. Sometimes we use the word LN, sometimes we use the word log. It's the same thing. Now, I'm sharing my screen. When my screen comes, yours should go. So confirm if you can see my screen. You see my screen?
Yes, it's on now.
Good. So you can see that in this model that I have here, you can see that the education has a subscript I. Do you see that?
Yes.
And yours, because we are not dealing with multiple countries, but we are dealing with multiple time, that is why yours is T, isn't it?
Correct.
Now you can see that you have log and then into brackets, you have education. And you have log and then into bracket, you have experience. Do you see that?
Yes.
So yours too, if we come to agree that let's just assume we come to agree that GDP or this one should be log. That's what you're going to do. You're going to have log into bracket, blah 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 blah. You see the beta one is in front before the log into bracket, blah blah blah. Something. Does it make sense? Does it make sense?
Yes, Prof.
So it's very
So okay,
important.
so the log must not be in the brackets. Okay.
Yeah, it shouldn't be in the bracket. Now I've put this video, and then when you get to this video, okay, you can see that the left-hand side doesn't have a log. Look on the right of this. There are other videos here. This second video is log. This one is log level. This one here is level. So this guy has done several videos where the left-hand side is log, but the right-hand side is not logged. The left-hand side is logged. Both the right-hand side and the left-hand side are logged and all of that. We look at that, but I just want you to know that we'll take the log, and you can easily use Excel to do the log. Once you use the Excel to do the log, you can use Excel without using the R to do your work. Are you getting me?
Yes. Yeah, you're actually helping me a lot.
So that is the main thing we are going to handle. Once we are able to do that way, because your data is not a panel. Well, it's not you're not doing a panel analysis. You're doing only a time series analysis, and Excel can do that. But if it was a panel, Excel couldn't have done that. So if you can take care of this log matter, the rest are sorted. Now we have to decide on which ones should be logged and which ones should not be logged. I'm closing this. I'm not going to discuss that with you. That will be a later matter. But trust me, GDP will be logged. Now, once you log GDP, interpretation becomes percentages. We'll come back to that. Of course, the video will explain all of that. Any question?
Yeah, no, I was gonna ask, how do I know which should be logged or not? But I'll watch the video. I'm sure it'll explain.
Yeah, I just wanted to now dance a little bit because I've given you too much. If I don't take care, you're not even, it will be too much in your head.
Okay, I think now I'm following the point that when we spoke, when you said we first need to discuss the variables before I narrow
Oh,
them
yeah,
down.
every
So I
variable.
think I'm getting
And
it.
guys, Mojaji, Linda, all of you, every one of you, we have to discuss every single variable. You don't just pick the variable and just run your correlation and run your descriptive. That's wrong. Some of the variables are double counting. For example, You combine everything to create artificial intelligence. Then you come and bring all of those things again into the work. That is wrong. Every variable got to be discussed before we write the model, before we go to the Excel. So we create a new sheet for the acceptably agreed variables. Even though you have so many, you have to select which ones are relevant to do the analysis. And for those of you who are doing both efficiency and regression, you have worse. You have to pick specific variables for efficiency and different variables for the regression. Jonathan, are you done now?
Yeah, you answered all my questions there, Prof. Just I have one more, the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of what do we submit on the 1st of December, right?
I told one
Because
of you to share your screen. Yeah.
no, you went through all of that, right? And then we had a huddle. So what I understand from that, and maybe also to manage the expectations on your side. So what we're submitting on the 1st of December is basically our progress that we're making on the um on the data analysis. So if I'm correct, it doesn't necessarily have to be finished, but you should be able to present your progress.
Well, as you can see, I'm working with you guys seriously to make it even finished, as you can see.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because why will you
So
have to get
if I give
some?
you finish, then you give me 100%.
No, I need to get, yeah, if you give me, I've finished all my data collection, you've done the analysis and all of that, okay, then I know that you've done, the work. You mustn't come and say, I'm yet to collect this other data. No, no, that one is out. I'm yet to. I'm yet to. No. Because data is everything now. And you have to have that data ready. I mean, you have your data ready for the 30 years, isn't it?
Yes,
The only thing is that you have them already, and even more than already, and we are even trying to remove some of them, isn't it?
correct.
Yes, so that's no problem at all. That's what we want. But if you go further to do this modeling, now that we have done the modeling, we've finished the modeling, once you are clear with the modeling, then we can go ahead and then run the descriptors, run the correlation, run all of these other things.
Okay. No, following,
And by
Prof.
the way, please remember that the fact that you are taking the log of some of these variables doesn't mean that their previous ones are useless. You are still going to use your previous ones to do the descriptive. It's just that you are taking the log to do the regression.
Oh, okay.
Just take them. And that goes to all of you. All of you will have to do descriptive statistics. All of you will have to do correlation. All of you will have to do regression. And the regression, some of you will have to do different regressions.
So, Prof, if I understand correctly, ne? Okay, now I'm understanding what you actually put on that voice note to me. It's all making sense now. So basically, the natural log is what we're going to use to do the regression analysis.
Yes, the
Oh,
natural log for
okay.
some
All
of the
right.
variables.
Yeah, because when you threw that word, I didn't even know what is natural log. Okay, now it makes sense.
Well, now you can see it in Excel.
Yeah, okay, it makes sense now. Then, Prof, maybe 1.2, maybe before we go, but it's just a general question. How do we reference the sources where we actually got this thing? Would a
What
spreadsheet
thing?
be fine to say unemployment rate? This is what it means, and I reference it in terms of where I
I'm
got the source
sure
on a
you have
normal
seen a
Excel.
table. You have seen a table of some of the papers where the person will have variable, description,
Yes, that's why I'm
source.
asking.
Yes, do it like that. Variable,
Okay, all
description,
right.
source.
Okay,
And in
perfect.
fact, not just that, variable, unit of measurement, description, source. You should have it all in a table. You should have it beautifully in a table. Let me show you one of them. Let me just show you one. This is one that I am doing with someone. And if you could, of course, the variables are going to be different from yours. But I just wanted to know. Let me share my screen. Confirm if you guys can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see your screen, but the document
Yes,
is
we
still
can.
opening.
Oh, yeah. Because this document, I needed to update or I'm in trouble. My Microsoft is updating. So everybody should have patience. While the patient is ongoing, anybody has a question now? Anybody has a general question? We'll come to the specific questions, but anybody has a general question? Oh my goodness, what is happening?
Doc, I think for me it will be specific on the data, maybe after tonight.
You see on the right side, do you see? Do you see on the right side of your screen, do you see the write-up with some of them highlighted?
May you move the panel, Doc, thanks towards the left?
Sorry?
No, I was asking if you can open up your window where you are showing.
Is it? Oh, you guys don't see my screen, right?
We can, but there are other stuff showing there.
Okay, don't worry. Let me just open the actual document.
Okay, thanks.
So this is the actual Word document.
Okay, thank you. It's there now.
So you can see that, and remember, this is a top level work. So I just wanted to know. So look at the top here. You have variable, isn't it? And then whether it's dependent or independent. You see, I've written log, ln. Do you see that?
Yes.
And watch it. You can even use ln, to represent the natural log. In fact, don't use log. Use natural log. And you see, I've explained it in the middle. Natural log of total amount of donations by the company. Do you see that? Guys, respond. I need to be sure you are with me, honestly.
We can see, Prof.
Yes, we can.
And then on the right, I've indicated a source. And then for each other variable, I've explained it and indicated a source. For each other variable, I've indicated the source and all of that.
What kind of source is this remunerative economy?
Your school doesn't have. They can't afford. So let's leave that. Yeah. Even my school in the
Please
UK
give us access,
cannot
Doc.
afford. They are now trying to stop buying it. The amount of money is in billions. It's in multiple millions of pounds sterling. So yeah, you won't get it. But some of the variables, you can see here, we are using GDP growth. Growth rate in domestic GDP. And you can easily get it from the global economy. And then here, we have the natural log of that variable. So what I'm saying is that for you, there are some variables you have to take their natural log. And you remember I said you would do for GDP. This is it. Inflation, you don't need to take the log. But other variables, you take the log. All right. And then this is the observation. So each observation, so if you take Austria, Austria has got this number of firms. This is a natural log of the donation and all of that. Then here, I even have which industry it is coming from. Then I just want to show you the descriptive statistics. Have you seen this summary statistics? The sample size, the mean, the standard deviation, the minimum, the median, the maximum for every variable. So this is what Excel can do. This one Excel can do for you. You see my sample size is very large, 8,871. So when you guys normally collect small sample, that's why I laugh. You have no storage normally. Then after you've generated the summary statistics, take note of the names, summary statistics. Then the next table you should have is a correlation matrix. So this was for my variables. Don't look at it and say, ooch, this is a lot. That is why you are not the one doing it. So this was a correlation matrix of all my variables. Excel can do this, but Excel cannot give you the significant values. R can give you the stars and the significant value. Then you go to the regression itself. So this is a regression and all of that. So I'm saying that there are quite some, I mean, the answer to your question is you must have the variable name. Okay. If you took your log of the variable, you should have that. If it is in dollars or percentage or anything, you should indicate that. Then the source, you should indicate that. Have it beautifully organized in a table. You don't have a lot of variables like me, so you should be able to do that easily. Jonathan, does that answer your question?
Perfect, Prof. Thanks.
Okay, next person.
Prof, I just wanted to ask, yesterday I spoke to you, and my topic is regarding efficiency, right? And you said I won't have to do any regression, but rather we'll be running efficiency under VRS and CRS. And then you
Correct.
said I must just watch your videos. So I'm on the second video right now. So I just wanted to ask, after, because I've got my data, my full data. So am I just going to take my full data and then,
full data now.
okay, I'll share my screen.
By the way, have you looked into any of the papers that have written the DEA efficiency formula?
Yes, but at the moment you said I must watch your videos, so I'm still on the video stage. So still trying to understand your videos last night.
Okay,
So this is my...
let me caution that whenever you are writing names of variables in Excel, try as much as you can, I know it's quite tough, to stay away from acronyms as much as possible. All of you, by the way. Should always stay away from acronyms as much, and always use small letters, not capital. Ah, there you go. She's going to use capital. I don't know why students do that a lot.
I'm changing, Prof.
Yeah, but I don't know why students do that a lot. Because these softwares, they understand small letters than capital letters. Even the company should be small letters. The year should be, everything, make it always small letters. It doesn't hurt at all. Now, also, I see that you have your items in commerce. Like you have them written in commerce. Anyway, I want to believe that that is it's because you want to have a look. Okay, so how many years?
So it's 10 years, 2013
and how
up
many
until
firms?
2020. 7 firms.
Oh, that's too small.
Yes, Prof, but I did have a call with you the last time, and then you said I must just use what I have.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that you shouldn't use, but I'm saying that that is too small. But I also understand that you can't do anything with it, isn't it?
Yes, Prof, I'm aware.
That is why I even wanted to cut down the variables.
Yes, and then we did cut them down. We removed salaries and we removed number of employees. Yeah, and sales revenue.
I
and then you
might
just
even
remove
remove
it.
one again. I might remove another one. I'm telling you. Because it's
Okay.
wow. There's a rule.
Yes, I
They
saw
say
that
that
rule in the
the
videos.
rule is that 3 times your variables, your sample should be at least 3 times your variables. Your variables are 3. 3 times that is 9. So it means the smallest number of sample you should have
Yes,
is 9 and not 7.
Prof,
Yeah,
are you saying I should have 9 companies?
that is what the rule is. If you
Rule
are
says.
using 3 variables, ideally, that's what should happen. Did you have net profit?
I had sales revenue and then I removed it.
So the only variable you had was sales revenue and net operating income for the output.
Prof, and we had R&D, we also removed it.
Yeah, the reason why I removed R&D was because your sample was too.
And I couldn't find data for R&D.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can't get 9 sample instead of 7.
I'll try to find more, but so far this is all I have. Because some of the companies are global.
Normally when people make those words, I know where the danger is going. I'll try. Because normally
I've been trying, so because they're not listed, it's difficult to find the other data. So this is all I have. And some of them you might find that, for example, Cipla, I can only find data for the internet, for the global company, but not for the South African one, which makes it difficult. I can't
yeah,
use a
but the
global
total number of these companies are how many in the country? The total number of the companies are how many?
276. However, 4 of them are listed. So 4 of them are the ones that
Listen,
are
the issue about listed is irrelevant when people always talk about that. Because whatever you finally finish with, you are going to say that the pharmaceutical industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the pharmaceutical industry, and yet the 4 listed companies don't make up the pharmaceutical industry.
Yes, however, those are the only ones where there's publicly available information. So the other
So you
ones,
have to conclude that your study cannot be generalized then, and
yes,
it's not trustworthy. You just have to agree with that,
yes,
and that is what examiners look at and say that if it's not trustworthy, then why am I reading it? It's not about I can't find that all I can do is because you just stated that there are only 200. I wish there were only 7 companies. That's what I wish.
yes, Prof.
That's a different ballgame. If there were only 7 companies, hallelujah, you are in good shape. That's when I can't do anything again. That one is understandable. Why are companies existing when they don't have information? They should not exist then. That is why most people don't like African studies at all. I was doing a lot of African work. I stopped. You can see that the data I just showed you here was Europe because you are there and there's no regulation collecting data on these, and yet they are there. Why are they there? Why are they there? Why do you say you have 200 and none of them is sensible? They are ghosts, and yet you claim you have. There must be something.
There is available, but
It's not
the
available.
only ones, so the ones that are available
don't
on
say
the
it's not available.
JSE, it's not available for the unlisted ones.
Stop even distinguishing between listed and non-listed. You see, I keep saying that. When we talk about an industry, we are not talking about listed. They are all fighting for the customer demand. So whether it's listed or it's not listed is irrelevant here. So
Okay.
I'm trying to wrap my head around how you're going to deal with this. I'm really trying to wrap my head around. Now, there are two possibilities. The only possibility now is that we do not even recognize any company as a company. Rather, we will not recognize time. We will not even include the time. And we'll consider all of them as separate companies on its own. So Aspen, which is row 2 here, and Aspen, which is row 9, and Aspen, which is row 16, and Aspen, which is row 23, they will all be considered as separate companies, not the same company.
Yes, Prof.
So that you don't know the companies you are even dealing with. And then this can now be used to indicate that there are, how many are they in all? 30?
The number of companies.
The number of observations.
I'm not understanding your question, Prof.
Yeah, just that you don't know the difference between observations and sample. The number of companies is the number of sample. That is
Okay,
a
we've
sample
got
sample.
7.
That is 7. The number of observation is the number of times you see all of these.
Just highlight column A.
10.
78.
How many are there?
78.
It's not 78. Check again. How many are there?
Okay, the number of times you see each company is 10 times because it's from 2013 up until 2023.
You said 78, so it's not 78. It's how many?
It's 10, Prof, because it's from 2013 up until 2023.
So you said 78.
11.
Is it 78?
So it's 11 because it's from 2013 up until
My
2023.
dear, what number is your sample observation? You said 78, and I'm asking, is it 78?
No, it's not 78.
What is it?
For each company, so it would be
What is it? Just
11.
give me the number. Don't give me details.
11.
Can somebody help her? I just want her to think. I think she's confused.
Yeah, I think I'm confused by your question, Prof.
No, it's not by my question. He understood. Somebody was trying to help you.
I don't know if I'm understanding it correctly, but there is.
No, stop. The moment you said, if I'm understanding correctly, it means that you shouldn't come in. Okay? You don't start like that. You're a professor. You are experts. You know this thing easily. Look, my dear, you highlighted the thing. Didn't you highlight it?
Yes, you said it's incorrect, Prof. But
It's incorrect.
I think
Yes. Go and let me show you. You highlighted the thing, and then you told me it's 78. And I said it's wrong. Highlight the companies. Start from company 1. Where is company 1? Where's the first company? Aspen, right?
Yes, Prof.
Okay, start from Aspen and scroll down. And tell me the total.
Total is 77.
So why did you say 78?
Because I had highlighted the word
So you
company
see
as
the
well.
mistake you made. It's not that I wasn't asking. You should have looked on the right here and checked count. And the count would
Prof,
have
my
told you that it's 77. So we're going back and forth simply because you don't know what you are doing. You are reading the 78 right down here on the left side.
Yes, Prof, my apologies.
No, this very one is a very simple things that normally I want to use that to test whether the person has been learning. Because by now, opening Excel, you should know. I mean, you yourself said it. You said 7 times 10
Yes, Prof.
is 70. 7 times 11 is 77. But then you were looking at the Excel rather 78 when you could have just done 7 times 11. Anyway.
Yes, Prof. Sorry, Prof.
And who was trying to help you? This
It
is
was
not
Rofio.
a technical question. Was it? Who was helping you?
Rofio.
It was me, Prof.
Rofio, this was not a technical question. It's not an efficiency question I was asking, so that it becomes technical. That is why when you started with from my understanding, I could see that no. This one, it was a very simple calculation.
Yes, my understanding is observation is number of records. So that's why I said highlight column A and that minus the first column. I just excluded the first column.
Well, but she didn't exclude. That was where the issue is. This sample is 77. And this 77 is the only one you're going to consider. Okay, so this is what I'm going to tell you to do. You are going to generate, and you want to write it down. This part I'm going to tell you to do, you can easily do that. You are going to use R to generate the descriptive statistics of the data, the summary statistics of the data. And
yes, Prof.
In the summary statistics, I'm sure you know what I mean by summary statistics by now.
Yes, Prof.
And you should use R to do all of that. I can see that you have installed, unlike the guy with a computer, that our good friend with a computer from company, and that Chinese computer he has bought, which is not good. Okay. So, Tuala, is it Jonathan or Tuala? Okay. He's bought a Chinese computer, and he said
Jonathan, Prof. It's not Tuala, it's Jonathan.
It's Tuala, right?
No, Prof, it's Jonathan.
Oh my goodness. Like he's putting all his blame on his computer now, But personally, if your computer is worrying you, I would have just taken somebody's computer and quickly do the work with that. He's using every means to avoid, getting the software. Meanwhile, that software will give you correlation matrix and p-value. Excel will never give you p-value. So I'm wondering how, Jonathan, you're going to do that. So you're going to take this data to R, and then we'll do that. Okay, so let me give you a quick observation of how to go around it. Show me your R. You see, the model you need. Okay, I can see that you don't have any model, isn't it?
Yes, Prof.
Yeah, this girl is in trouble.
I said I mustn't do any model.
No, I didn't say you shouldn't do it. I said you shouldn't do anything on your Excel data. I didn't say you should not write. You see the way your friend Jonathan has written the model in Excel, in Microsoft Word. You should do that. Yeah, Jonathan, hand it up.
Okay, Prof.
Yeah, Prof, maybe just a general question, right? So can it be that you can do your summary statistics and your correlation method on Excel, but your regression you use R? Or does it all need to come from one tool?
Well, you can mix them, but it depends on why you are mixing which one. There must be a reason. For example, descriptive statistics can be done in both ways. Correlation is beautiful. The way Excel will give you is very beautiful. But Excel will not give you whether the correlation is significant or it's not significant. And I'm going to do that here for this girl so that you can all look at it. So doing correlation in Excel is beautiful. Doing correlation in R is not beautiful. They will all give you the correlation coefficient, but Excel one is more beautiful looking than R. R1 is not looking beautiful, but R will give you more. It will give you significant p-values, significant p-values, significant p-values, star, 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 star. That will help you to know that your correlation is coefficient, which Excel will not give you. So what I do is I combine them. Remember, doing both of them is easy peasy. Easy peasy. And you're going to see that pretty soon here. Okay, before we continue, more, you and I think all of you who are doing efficiency, which ones of you are doing efficiency? Apart from more.
Dumisani is doing it. Talk.
Dumisani is also doing efficiency. Who else is doing efficiency?
I'm also going to do efficiency, Prof.
Rafiwa is doing efficiency. Who else? 3 of you. Who else is doing efficiency? Are you sure the rest of you are not? Okay, good. So the 3 of you, I would have to meet you guys separately and show you step by step how to run the mathematics you are going to write. You're all going to probably use the same mathematics and maybe slight difference with one of yours. Okay, so more. Today you are the one going to show us everything, okay?
Okay, Prof.
So first thing I can see is that you have not labeled your R script, your document. I can see it at the top as Untitled 1, Untitled 2. Which one are you using? Untitled 1 or 2?
2.
Okay,
Here
so
I tried something. I was just installing something. Let's just use 2 for now.
okay, we have to save it quickly before we even start anything. So do Control S to save and save it in my document. No, never save things on desktop. Oh, that's where you've been saving things, right?
Yes, Prof.
Okay.
So I've got a folder for the module, so that's where I save everything of mine.
All right. You take it there. Take it to the desktop where it is. Just don't forget that the thing is in your desktop. No. You have to give it a beautiful name you will remember. Don't say R Studio. What name are you giving to it?
I'll just say Tseho Data, Prof.
Oh, no. It should be one word. Hey, stop. Don't click save before. It should be one word. It should be small letters. Always make things simple, shorter. One word, small letter. No. Don't click save. Don't click save. It's too long. It's too long. No. Efficiency is also not good. Okay.
Okay, so please give me a name.
Oh, gee. By the way, your more is your last name, right?
Yes,
And that is shorter.
Less is more.
The less is more. Okay. No. Okay. How would you know that this is efficiency result? Okay, just type, just save it as efficiency. Just save it as efficiency. Yeah. And by the moment you save it, you can now see that the Untitled 2 has changed to efficiency. Do you see that?
Yes, Prof.
Guys, this goes to all of you. You are learning how to model in R, so follow this. Okay. The first thing you have to do is to load your data. So we are going to load the data. We have to use an easy 3-letter or 2-letter. Sometimes even a letter is good. So let's use a letter to say the name of the data. Let's call it D. So do D equal to read.delim. Number 1, click on number 1. Read. And at the moment you start typing, this will come. Read.delim.
Can you please, how do I spell that, Prof?
Or like delimitation, delim. Are you on the internet? Yeah, of course you're on the internet. Into bracket, double No, that is a colon. That is not double apostrophe.
How's the apostrophe again? I forgot.
Yeah, somebody should help with the girl.
Is it this one?
No, opening
Oh,
quote.
The one like you are opening quotes.
Now she has pushed me to just get my tea.
So,
you have
Opening
to
quote.
click.
Opening
Yeah.
quote. After two buttons after L on your keyboard.
And then it's shift and then that open code.
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Inside the double apostrophe, type clipboard. But what is the closing end of the double apostrophe? Are you sure this girl used the double apostrophe? All right. Let's hope that you use
Yes,
it.
Prof.
Okay, so go to the Excel and copy the data. Go to the Excel and then click inside the data set. Click anywhere inside. No. Let me show you. Hey, stop. Click anywhere inside and do Control A. That will highlight everything. Do Control A. That highlights everything. Do Control C to copy. Hey, wait. Stop. Now, when you are sending this thing to Excel, it would be nice to give it shorter names, not acronyms though. So let's name the total asset as assets. The second one, name it as salaries. And the third one, name it as income. But you should have it in your mind, the proper names, right?
Yes, Prof.
Change the first letter, which is capital. I always use small letters. I know, we've been typing, I'm talking about the income you wrote.
Yeah.
Always in small letters.
Yeah, it's all in small letters.
All right. So now click inside, Control A to highlight, and let's take it all to Excel. Control C to copy and go back to your R and click on where you had a command for D. Guys, I hope you are all following because I'll never repeat this with anybody. No. You should see run on the top right of this window. You see run top right of this small window. Okay, if you can see, just do Control Enter, Control Enter, Control Enter. Good. You can see that the command you wrote is now down there blue in the console, down there. You see it?
Yes, Prof.
That means your data has been loaded. On the right, top right, you can see that there is a data name called D. You see that?
Yes, Prof. This
How
one.
many observations and how many variables?
77 observations and 5 variables.
That means your data is loaded. Now, in order to see all of your data, you just, let me tell you something about R. One quick thing about R is that you can give notes so that you don't forget what you did. So do backspace. And then when you go backspace, sorry, go and click, do hash symbol. Write the hash symbol. Anytime you write the hash symbol, anything that follows the hash symbol is note. It's instructions. It's like your own note you are making so that you will understand the command you wrote on the left side. So if you want to give your own note about what you've done on the left side, what would you say? Guys, can anybody say it?
It's the name of the data that she
The
has.
data.
I just want to ask any of you, I just want to know what you feel. What will you say you just did? It should indicate what you just did. Just write
It's the data, Prof.
load data set through clipboard command. Load data set through clipboard command. Type it. And this typing will never be considered as
Load data sets. Please repeat that, Prof.
I don't repeat when it comes to instruction, since you are writing it yourself.
Prof.
You're loading the data set from the clipboard. So
Yeah.
before you run this command, you must always copy the data from Excel. I'm saying it in layman terms so you can write in a way you'll understand it. So you're loading the data set from the clipboard.
Okay.
By the way, do you know what a clipboard is? The clipboard is anything you have copied that is on the cursor, but it's not seen. Just so you know.
Okay, Prof.
You can't write everything. Normally, writing should be brief. Okay, go to the next one. Enter and go to the next one. Anytime you enter, the next number comes. But I'm so surprised. Rafia, you were the one talking. Why is her instructions not in green? It's supposed to be green.
Can you move one space? That hashtag, can you create a space between the closing bracket and the, no, before.
After the,
Yeah, after the, oh, I don't know. Why.
just save. I don't know why, but let's move on. Okay, so now always save your work, by the way. Control S will always save. Now, if you want to see your data, you can highlight just the D on top, the name you gave to it. Just highlight the D alone, just the letter D alone, and then run it. Run it. Your data will now show down there in the console.
Should I say run selected line?
Always do Control Enter to run or click run. Yeah, the first one. So you can see that the data is now in the console. You can scroll up and see the top part of the data. Okay. Now, sometimes your data is so plenty. By the way, go to Command 2 now. Sometimes your data is so plenty that you can't see everything. R will even shorten the rest. So if you want to see just the top part, just type head. So type head into bracket. Type head into bracket D. But honestly, there's a problem with her work. With her software, I don't know. It's supposed to come when she's typing these commands. They're supposed to come by themselves. Put D into the bracket and run it. That will give you just the first 6 rows of the data. You see, every time to run, you have to go and click this and click that. But I've told you, you can always use Control Enter, and that will easily run instead of going to click this and click that again.
Okay, Prof.
This gives you the top part of the data, as you can see down there. If you want to see the bottom 6 of the data, type tail into bracket D. Rofi, I can show her other things she can do.
No, I was saying sometimes you have to install the IntelliSign separately. I don't know if it was installed here. The auto finish when you start typing functions. It might be that it's not installed or didn't install automatically. I don't know.
Type tail, tail and then D in the
Next to
bracket.
D.
Yes.
On number 3.
No, after on new line.
Okay.
Control Enter.
Well, Jaji, the last time you could not join the lecture. Have you watched the note, the video?
I have, yes. But Prof, the one that I was asking for you to share, you said you had shared. You actually didn't. The one that I missed. And the one that Jonathan had shared was actually the incorrect one.
The regression?
Yes, sir.
It's on my web channel. Go and check. It's there.
I did look.
Is it the regression that I did with the rest of them where you were not here? It's on my channel. In fact, if you are subscribed to the channel, the moment I loaded, you would have seen it.
I did look. I couldn't find it.
No, it's there. If you go there now, you see. If you go there later, share your screen. I'll show you.
All right.
So more, you know what you have done so far.
No, so I was about to ask the difference between the head part and the tail.
Oh, come on, somebody can quickly tell you. These are basic, guys. Someone should quickly tell me so that I move on to the better ones.
The head is the first 5 records in your data set. The tail is the last 5 records in your data set. So if you open your Excel, you'll see that it's your data starts with Aspen, Adcock, and the last records are Riskin, whatever, Discam and whatever.
Okay, understood. Thank you, Rofiwa.
You understand now?
Yes, Prof, you can we can move.
What do you understand? Explain. If you understand, then write the instruction for them and let's see.
Instruction way, Prof, here.
Hashtag, Seho. Hashtag next to the head. That's your notes. Line 2, space hashtag. Yeah, what's that? It's the first 6 records.
Ooh, sorry.
And the tail is the last 6 records. Your hashtags must be close to the letters and then the space after the D.
Do you know why I'm doing all of this?
Yes, you need to have, well, if you're submitting this, I need to have instructions of my code.
Because sometimes I've seen that students will write their codes, then they'll come back, they don't even know what they wrote. They've forgotten. Meanwhile, they wrote themselves. Then they will call me and tell me that they've written, but they've forgotten what they wrote. And that is because they don't have notes. Okay. So, well done, my dear. The first thing you've done is what you've done. The next thing you are about to do is one of the crucial things of your life. We have this data, we have graphs. We have graphs, we have line graphs. You know, this data is in the form of a year. Are you aware?
Yes, Prof.
You have the data in the form of a year. And you can actually do the data set. You can run the data set, you can do several things with the data set. You can even do plot some graphs of the data. There are several graphs actually that you can plot about the data. I'll just give you just 4 of them very quickly, then you can do the rest later. So let's check the histogram of your first variables. Now, anytime you want the name of the variable, you see it. So let's look at assets. Look at the histogram of assets. You're going to just color it as yellow. So you just type HIST for histogram into bracket D dollar assets, D dollar symbol asset. And then do a comma and do COL. COL is a color, and there are thousands of colors. Let's use color 72. I don't know what the color is. Color equal to 72. COL equal to 72. Okay. Now, watch the bottom right side. The graph will show right now. Run it. Histogram. Okay. Sometimes the asset, is that the same name you wrote it in the work? Yes.
Yes, she has to convert all the things to numbers before, because they're not in numbers.
Yeah, I think they are in decimals, right? So go to the Excel. Go to the Excel. Highlight everything as it is. At the top, choose general. At the top, general.
It is
Select
general.
number. Select numbers. Select number. Okay. Just go back to general. Yeah. Copy the data and then go back to the arrow. Highlight everything from 1 to 4 and run it. Okay. So you can see that the graph is showing now. The color, let's change the 72. I don't know the next color. Let's make it turquoise. I think turquoise is 20 something. Let's do 28.
But I run this.
Yeah, you don't need to highlight it. Once you have clicked there, just run it. Okay, I think this is it. So for me, what it tells you clearly is that the assets are not normally distributed. You can see that some are very long, some are very tall, and all of that. So this is just a feel of the distribution of assets. Okay, let's take another color, but this time we're not doing for assets. Let's say we want to do the density for another variable. So type plot into bracket density. Then you do into bracket again, D dollar. What is the next variable? D dollar salaries. D dollar salaries. Close the bracket, then comma, then color. Choose any number between 1 and 500. It's your choice. And run it. Okay. Okay, it says it must be numeric. It means that salary is not numeric. Which is strange because everything there is number. Does it mean that you're putting some things that are not? Yeah, it looks like you have something there. When you go to the Excel,
Some of the values have decimal points and others not. I think maybe that's...
Yeah, click on that where your cursor is. Click on that for 26,000. No, where your cursor was. Okay, yeah. You know where there's that little thing like in the corner right of... Yeah, what's that? What is that? What is that thing?
It's because
it's been stored as a text. That is where the problem is.
No problem.
No, it's not. It's not you who did it. It's the copy paste. So you have to just click on that thing, the triangle thing. Convert to number. Again.
And worry is that she has to do all of that.
Convert to number. Then
you have to do for all of that very quickly. It has delayed us.
You can copy the format instead of doing this. So just convert that one to number. And then go to, you see on the top left on the clipboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that brush thing. That brush, no, that brush.
Oh, the
thing.
format painter.
Yeah, so, yeah. No, you click the wrong column now.
This girl is in trouble today.
Any number, no, copy a correct one. So copy like A1, A2.
A2.
Oh, sorry, E2. Then copy the format, painter thing. Then highlight the one, just one, so we can test that it's correct. Yeah, paste it on one that has a, oh no, the one that has a...
The corner. He's talking about the corner. Yeah. Anyway, you know what? Do it one by one. We are delaying. It's okay. Do it one by one.
Yeah, okay, just do it.
Why don't we highlight them all, pay special in another row?
Exactly, that's what I thought. But let's go. She's almost there. She should be doing it like this since she caused it.
Me?
Yes. It costs everything. So you have to go through your own meal. We are 50 something. She'll finish right now. There's an easy way to do it, but since she started, she has to do it.
So, Prof, why don't you tell me the easier way?
No. We are busy. See, me, I'm doing 17 things at the same time talking to you. Cooking at the same time. All right, copy everything again and go back to R and highlight everything and run. You see now you have mastered how to control copy and all of that. You're using it.
Yes, Prof.
And always highlight from the top. You have been seeing that you've been highlighting from down. Go to the top, highlight everything and run L. Did you highlight everything? No, you didn't.
I did, Prof.
Okay, run the first command. Run the first command. Click on the first command. I didn't say highlight, just click there. Run it. Have you clicked on the command? What's she doing? Okay, go and copy the Excel again. Something is heavily wrong. Yes, it's already copied. Go to the R. Click the first command in R.
This one.
Yes, and run. So what's the problem?
Let me try the manual.
No, still. Still, you weren't probably doing something. That is not the problem. Run the second command. The cursor should go to the number 2. Run. Hold on. Error in density. This salaries argument must be. You know what? Click save. Close it and reopen.
Must I exit here?
Close the work. Close the App Studio and then reopen.
Yes, must I close here by the X?
What do you think, my darling? What do you really think? When you put the cursor there, the cursor wrote close.
Okay, let me close.
Anybody with a question while she opens? Open your R Studio. That's what I'm saying. Open it. Anybody with a question while she opens? Mojaji, can you do all of this that she's doing?
I'm observing, sir.
And you're not asking questions.
I'm not asking because it is quite doing.
I will not take you through this. So it's important that you know what is happening. If I were you, I would even be doing a similar thing with my own data, step by step. You've opened a lot of R, so you have to close some. Pause. Don't click it twice.
I clicked it once, Prof.
Okay, the box that is on the top corner, click on that box to expand it. It's very close to, no, not that one. The one
This
near
one.
environment, yes. Always, that's what you got to do, my dear.
Okay, Prof.
So the work that you closed is supposed to open here. I don't know why it didn't. This is really bad. Go to your desktop where you saved it and double click to open it. Does it mean that, because it's supposed to normally open automatically? Anyway, so highlight only the D, only the letter D, and run it. Let me see, Control Enter. Okay, so the data is still in the pipeline. Go to Command 4 and run Command 4. That will give you the graph. And you see the second one is also said that it must be numeric. The asset, it looks like salary is still not numeric. Go to the Excel. This will worry you actually with the others. That's why I like to do these preliminary works. Now go to the top. All right, that's it. Stop. Go down slightly. Let me see something. Okay, up. Right click. Okay, wait. Go to Format, Cells.
Doc, can I come in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I had a problem with my numbers were indicating commas. If you see Tsechos, they are also in the same way. Her computer needs to change where you normally change the settings for the date.
Okay, talk to her then.
Yes, she needs to change the computer settings to represent with a dot, not with a comma.
Teacher,
okay, how do I do that?
On the settings for the computer, on the control panel, I think your computer is also set for default settings as comma for any number representation. So if you can get to settings of the computer itself.
Settings of the computer. And then where do I go?
Please just search for settings, computer settings, date and time. It should be in the same slot.
I like it when some of you are teachers. It makes me relax.
Yes, just click there. I think we need to go down. Okay, I think just go back again on the top.
All of you with data, you should go and clean it and use proper analysis. Right? This one is taking time.
Okay.
I think her computer, it's not the settings, because if that was the case, if you change the format here to accounting, it should use dots, not commas. So I think it's correct. The problem is how the data.
Yeah, just check the second one if it's on, but all of them they're in commas.
Not all of them. So how do I make sure that all of them are not in commas? Because I noticed here this one has got a comma, the other ones don't.
I think it's just the way it was pasted. Can you highlight column D? Just highlight column or E, any of them. Then copy. No, one column.
Okay.
One column. Copy. Just Control C, and then go to.
Why are you doing only one column?
No, I just want to test if it's a computer issue. And go to F. Then right click. No, don't paste. Just right click. Just undo. Just undo once. Then right click and then paste values. The second option. Yeah. Then just go to one that had columns and see if it still has commas, and check if it
It's
still
still
has
there.
commas.
It's still
Yeah,
there.
it still has.
Listen, go up. Highlight everything. Everything, the numbers. Oh, no. You could have even done the other one. It's okay. All right. And then just change the general. Click on the general. And by the way, that general thing you did, right now, you could have done the same thing with the others. Choose number for now. Okay. Now, I see you have some negatives, right?
The commas are still
Yes.
there. Do you see? Line
Where are the
53.
commas? No, you don't need to. What are you doing?
I was trying to remove the commas manually.
Oh, no. We could have removed it a different way. I was even going to undo this one. But anyway, you've done it already. Is it one of them that is changing or all of them?
All of them.
No, what I mean is that, do you still have commas in there?
No.
It wasn't Jonathan who did this thing on your own and then you came to tell me that you've done it. Was it you? Or Twala? Anyway, I got confused with you guys. Go to, instead of, it's like she knows what she's doing. Okay, go. Do what you're doing.
No, so I was going to try to run it again because I see that there's no commas now.
Okay, do it.
So I wanted to attempt it. There it is, Prof.
Okay. Now, the color, after the color, do LWD, comma, LWD for the plot. The plot. Do
Yeah.
comma, LWD, and do equal to 4. LWD equal to 4. And then the color, change the 40. Do 29. Run. Okay. So I wanted it to be thicker so that we can see. Okay, good. It appears that your distance is sorted now. So this is a density which is not normal, as you can see. It means that that's interesting though. Your data is not normally distributed. We take it like that. Let me give you another plot. I just want to give you 4 plots, and later I'll show you how you can put all the 4 on one page. You have to do some of these graphs in your work to just indicate certain things of your work. Let's do a box plot for the last variable. What is the last variable? So type box plot equal to $, income. Box plot into brackets, $, income. $, income.
I close the brackets.
Comma, then you do color, 56 equal to
Okay.
COL 56. Close the bracket. Run it and let me see. Okay, 56 is not a good color though. Change the color. Use 1/6. I don't know. Use any other number. Don't use singular numbers. You're learning how to do R with multiple mistakes, right?
Yes, bro.
Why is the 16 still showing gray?
Do 30, Tshepo. Okay, 27. Now I was going to say do 30. Looks like 28, 29, those numbers. the colors seem close to
All
each
right.
other.
Anyway, so the box plot clearly shows that the median is at the bottom of the third quartile. It's at the bottom. You can see the black line in the middle. That black line in the middle is the median of the box. And there's a lot of outliers. Those are the round things on top and below. So that is the third printout. I want to do a last one. Let me see what I can do. A last one, which is violin. Let me stop violin because that will require that. That unfortunately will require that you install some other things, some packages. We don't have time for that. Just a second. When we're ready, we shall do a test. Oh, for all of you who are doing, you should also do a test of normality. Test all your variables to see whether they are normally distributed, at least your output variables or your regression variables. Oh, then. Okay. Let me just use lines. I'm just going to do lines. So type lines equal to lines into bracket density. Lines into bracket density.
I typed it, Prof.
Then into bracket D dollar assets. Step out of the bracket. Do LWD, line weight. Make it 4. Color, make it 653.
Can you please repeat that, Prof? Out of the brackets?
Yeah, but why are your brackets 2? After the first bracket, you do comma, LWD, 4, equal to 4. Then comma, COL, equal to 653. Then step out and do semicolon. That's colon. Semicolon. Then type RUJ. Ragged into brackets. RUJ, not J.
G.
Yeah, into bracket JITTER. JITTER. Then into bracket D dollar assets. Step out of the brackets. And oh, wait, what did you do? Into bracket. No, you should have brought into bracket D dollar. You shouldn't have closed the jitter bracket. The jitter. Still, then you bring left bracket again. Left bracket.
Oh, the left bracket.
Then D dollar assets. Step out of the bracket and then close the bracket. That's it. Run.
Do I run?
Okay. I know there's obviously some mistake you've made. Let me see. Lines, density, then you have D dollar assets, close bracket LWD, 4, color 653, step out, semicolon, ragged jitter. Yeah, that is all correct. Your first lines, is there a space there?
Oh.
Before the lines, Before the lines, is there a space that has to be closed? No, it doesn't look like that. Some will be clipped. Okay. Did you run it again? What's the name? I think we are now getting here using the colors, right? Show the head of the data again. Show the head of your data. Command 2, command 2. Run command 2. Don't highlight. I think you haven't gotten used to not highlighting.
I just clicked Control and Enter.
Whilst your cursor was there? Once your cursor was there?
Yes.
Yes, there's a problem. That's why I said you should go and show that. So there is a problem. Load the data again. Load the data again and run command 1.
Loaded how, Prof?
Run command 1. Okay, so there's a problem. Normally when you're having these problems, which is what you are having now, you have to close and reopen. Yeah.
Do I save it now again?
If you have already saved it before everything, saving is easy. So that one you can always save anytime. You don't need to even ask me. Yes, who has a question? D. Maki. What is your model? Mojaji, what's your model?
Do I exit, Prof?
Exit and reopen. Always when I say close, I mean exit and reopen. Mojaji, what's your model?
I haven't done mine, Prof, yet.
You should. You should be doing whilst we are even talking. You should come up with something for me to correct. Not that I haven't done anything. You must have read your other people's work. So you should have an idea about your model. You must have written something. So write something while we are talking. You're going to show me. Don't wait for me to do things for you.
Prof, my R Studio didn't load
I
correctly.
didn't talk about our studio. When I say model, I'm talking about using your word, your book, pen and paper. You should write your model. That's what I mean.
Okay.
That has nothing to do with R and R Studio. And guys, anytime something has to do with your software, my company is not allowing me to install my R Studio. Please, these ones, I don't care. I can't control that part. My computer is not booting. My computer is sick. And, I can't find the software. I can't load it. Those things, you guys come and just give me a heart attack with them. So sort out the computer issue before. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on. You stop this. Stop this and let's move on. More. Stop this and let's move on.
I said stop sharing.
No. Show me your R Studio. Let's move on with the R Studio. You've opened 2 R.
Here
Are you
it is,
aware?
Prof. Yes,
Are
Prof.
you aware you've opened 2 R Studios? You always will do that. And then you said that's what is probably causing this issue.
Yeah, I've only opened one now.
Close and open. I wish I was the one controlling this thing. Load it first. What were you doing? You were highlighting when you've not loaded anything.
Loaded how, Prof? Like I must run it in the first line.
That's what we always mean. Always do that whenever you start right.
I don't know, it's giving me an error.
Close, go to the cursor at the last command and delete everything up to rugged. Hey, what are you doing? Up
Must
to
I
rag.
delete everything?
Up to rag. Delete the semicolon too. Run only that one. Okay, go back and run the box plot. You are moving the cursor so fast. I don't know why you are doing that. Yeah, like you are moving. Pop, 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 pop. Relax, 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 relax. Close the work and reopen. And when you come, run each command one by one.
Prof, here do I say save selected?
Always save. Always. Don't ask me. Always save. Always save. Copy your Excel. Take your time. Let the things load. Copy your Excel.
It's copied.
Go to the R and close that two things that you haven't titled. Title document. And run the first command. There is a problem. I don't understand why. All of a sudden. This is the one. Why do you have another package? Oh, goodness me. It's not even the lines that you are doing. Hold on. What did you do? You just ran the first one and all of them showed like that?
All I did was to run the first one.
And everything started showing?
Yes.
Okay. Highlight only from command number 2. Cut it. Control cut. Okay. And then run only number 1. Okay. And show number 1. Highlight D and show number 1.
And then what must I do, Prof?
Always you run to show, you run to show, you run to do, you run to do, you run to do. Good. So now I can understand what is happening here. Good. Now drop the command you copy, you cut in number 2.
Should I paste it?
Yes. Now go to the Excel and load the Excel. Copy the Excel. Don't run anything yet. Don't run anything. Run only the first command.
I've done that, Prof.
I know. There's a problem. There's a huge problem with your work. I don't know what is happening. You have something showing here as we have to we have to you have to close the data because I don't know why your commands are not shown. Otherwise, you leave it. You can do it later because for some reason your graphs are sitting on other ones. Run just the command 5. Run only command 5. Let me see something. Yeah. Delete command, cut command 6 and 7. Cut them. And run 5. Let me see. Okay, undo the cut you did. And save the work. Show the head.
Are you saying I must run the head, Prof?
Show the head. When I say show, I mean run.
Oh.
All right, close. Mojaji, have you written your model? I normally expect that you've been able to do something before I can add to it.
I'm trying, Prof.
Honestly, I wish what she's doing, somebody else was doing, so I would rather swap to somebody because for some reason, normally the best option, if all of these things are not working, is for you to restart a computer. Something is not right. Because even when we started, the instructions were not flowing that the way they are supposed to be. When did you install the RStudio? Close it.
On Friday,
Close it and save the work and close.
Can you try something, Toko? Please type D on line number 8, type D, $ assets, then space, what is it, less than sign, shift, it's next to M, then dash next to zero. Next to 0, yeah. And then make space.
Say space.
Yeah, as numeric, as dot numeric. Open bracket, D dot asset, D whatever the assets, $assets.
D $assets.
Yeah. And then go back to the first one, the dollar assets. No, the on line 8.
Line 8, okay.
Just create a new column, say underscore NU, just NUR something.
Like this?
Yeah. Then run line number 8.
Nope.
Then run line number 2. Okay, remove NUR. Just change the original column.
As well as the underscore.
Let her restart a computer, or let her restart the R, and if not a computer. This thing was working before, wasn't it?
Okay, so should I remove all of this, Prof?
Save everything. It won't stop anything. Save everything. Maybe next time you should put the work in your working directory. Okay, type, hold on. Let me just check something. Which one is even your working directory? Type WD. Let's do get WD bracket. Do get WD bracket. Get WD bracket. Get hasn't come.
Prof?
Do get WD bracket.
I typed WD bracket.
I say do get WD, not just do get. Where is GET?
Get WD.
Let me see. Yeah, just run it. Let me see.
And then the brackets, do I remove them?
Keep what you have there. Run what you have. I see it. Did you run?
I did run, Prof.
Okay, so you can see that nothing is showing. Close the work. Close everything. Close everything.
Should I open out again?
Relax, relax. I'm trying to see some other things that are running. Show me the other things that are running. Okay, which other things have been opened? You seem to have opened a lot of things. Go down there. Go down in your windows. Let me see. Touch on everything. Put a cursor on everything. Let me see what have been opened. Close other things that are not necessary. The pictures, the picture section, close it. And close the windows. Yes, that one. The settings. You go to Microsoft icon, close it. Go to the left, far left. The folder section. Okay, leave that. The next one. What is that? The next one after the folder. Where are you? On the right. The next on your right after folder. What is that? What was that? You didn't check.
It's a Prof from work. It's for work. I've just closed it.
And what is the Microsoft today? The next one on the right. And then the next one, yeah. Next time you are doing R, make sure that you close some unnecessary things that are hanging around there. The Excel could be there, Word could be there, PDF could be there. But when you have too many things, this SAP thing was even worrying. I would have normally restarted the computer, but all the same, let's start R again. If it doesn't work, your next bet now is to restart a computer because everything was working fine.
Okay, Prof.
You are just going to show the D and run the D. That's all. Show, highlight the D and run the D. If the data jumps to other things, that's when you have a problem. Otherwise, you need to reconfigure. Who has a model? Or who okay, so the rest of you who are doing efficiency, there are 3 of you. Who is the other person doing efficiency? Who has your data ready? Run command 9 first. Okay, you have a serious problem here. You only run command 9 and look at all the crazy things that are happening. Restart your R. That's the best option. Sorry, restart your computer.
Okay, I'll join again.
Who else is doing efficiency here, guys? Who else is doing efficiency?
Me, Prof.
You have your data, right?
Yes.
Have you shown me your data? Have we gone through your data?
Yes, we did.
Show me.
Okay, I'll just open now.
If you are not ready, another person can do. Guys, should we pause now? Because it looks like all of you are tired.
Okay. That's my data. Is it showing on their side?
You have made it too expansive. Can you make it, nucleated? Like, they are expanded too much. Can you make it smaller? Not smaller by reducing the size, but just double click on each vertical line so that it is boxed. You know the way the column P is nicely boxed. Double click on each vertical line. Double click on each vertical line. Yes, go to the next one. Go to the next one. Go to energy. Energy is too expanded. Where are you clicking?
Yes, I am. I think
It's not
my
showing.
system.
Double click on the between energy and capital, the line. Now the line you are double clicking between energy and capital. Are you double clicking?
Yes, I am.
No. You are not doing it. You are not doing it. Stop. Okay. If you were doing it, the thing should be closed. The box is expanded. So click on the box and move it to the left so that it closes.
Okay, let me try and reload it.
Oh, no, this is so simple. Why do you guys make things complex like that? Click and drag to the left, it will do. There's diminishing mental retention. The capital, you didn't close it better. You see the way you are closing it is like you're afraid to close it. I don't see what is on the other side. So I want to see all at a go. Next time, make your distance simpler.
Okay, I think they are all on the box now.
Okay, do you have the R commands for this?
Yes.
Okay, go to your R and show us. And please, next time, show all your computer screen instead of one window.
Okay. Oh, this computer is so slow. No, I think my computer is frozen, Doc. If apologies, let me move to the next person.
Okay, another person can do it. I just wanted to show you guys how to do efficiency, and it looks like I'm not getting anybody.
No.
Nobody is ready. You have to postpone this. Guys, no problem. We can do this. I'll check on my schedule, and then we can do this during the week. Wednesday is possible. I'll confirm it by Tuesday.
I will appreciate that, Doc.
But please, I don't want anybody to come and tell me I don't know what I've done. I don't have my model. I don't have my data. I don't have my model. I don't have my data. I've not tried to write my model. Look into the literature. Look at what others have written. You can even copy what someone has done and come and show me. That shows that you are doing something. So please.
Okay, I have
Everyone is
on
busy, and I don't want to be rushed towards the beginning of December. That is out of the question. Any question? Any final question?
Yes, Doc, on the model, we went through it the last time. Then you requested me to add some other variables. Already we had the population there, and the request was that I must do the urban population. So my question is that on the model, should I reflect both population and the urban?
I don't know the model. I've forgotten the model.
Okay, let me try and project it as well. Please indicate if it's showing that side now. The first one is what we went through, but now on the second one, I've indicated as revised model. So I've just added
Okay, so wait, before you normally come to this is a regression model. So don't just say initial model. Okay.
Yes, no, it was for me to note.
Yeah, but I always use the word regression model so that I know, because there's the efficiency model. Are you estimating efficiency too? Are you estimating efficiency, DE efficiency, before you come to this?
No.
What is no? How are you going to get environmental energy efficiency? What is that?
Okay. Remember, okay, the last time we had a discussion was that I calculated the energy efficiency.
How do you calculate?
I had said it was the GDP over the energy consumption. Plus, I said renewables.
Oh, my dear, you are making a big mistake here. And I can see where your problem is. You are supposed to use DEA to estimate the environmental energy efficiency. And the reason why we called it environmental energy efficiency is because it had CO2.
CO2. Yes.
So go on top of your initial model and create a box with 2 columns. Go on top of your initial model here. Click there. No, click on top of your initial model. Click on top of the initial model. Click. Is that on top or below? I say on top when you have clicked below. Now, go to the top and choose insert.
I'm there, yes.
Insert. Table.
Okay.
And choose 2-column table. Just do 2 column. And then do 5 rows. 2 times 5.
Okay. Okay, I'm there.
The left, make it input. The right, make it output. These are the headings.
Okay.
Inputs and outputs.
Okay, I'm there.
Remember, they are always plural. Under input.
Yes, I'm there.
And I'm saying that they are always plural. You have made it singular. I don't want a situation where later on you will say that I'll do it. Okay. So do the right thing now, because I'm showing you now.
Okay.
They are saying inputs, you have energy consumption.
Okay.
Weber. and then real capital stock. Under output, you will have GDP and then CO2 emissions.
Okay, I'm there.
So in your initial model, you have all of these, you remove them. So remove them now. All of those things you've written in the input and output, remove them from the initial model first before you proceed.
All right.
Have you removed them?
Yes, I'm on the second one. I'm on the real stock.
I mean, you can highlight all of them at a go and just remove. You edit the rest later. They are all following one another. Just highlight all of them and then remove.
It's not responding, but
no, it's because you are not highlighting all of them. You should highlight all of them at a go. You're doing it one by one. That is not the problem. If you click on labor, drag it all the way to emissions, you cleared it.
Yes, I've tried it, Doc. I think my system it says it's slow. Hence, I'm trying to do it one by one. You see that it comes now to highlight and go.
So when you're able to, let's assume that you've been able to remove all of them.
Yes, I'll know.
They are the ones that will make up the independent variables. The dependent variable, which is environmental energy efficiency, you will get that score from the table you have above. And the table you have above, we need to model it as a DEA, efficiency model, which I was going to show you guys today.
Okay.
So let me assume that when a computer is correct, you can now clear the GDP and the emissions. That will be left with digitalization, renewables, population, inflation, and unemployment. Now, then I said you should add some things. So let's go to the one down there.
Yes.
Apart from unemployment, you have Gini index, right?
I have?
You have Gini index.
Yes, I have Gini index.
What is that?
It's the level of what is it? Wealth or level of well-being for the population of each country. It's given in a
the proper name for it. You will get it.
Yes, it's a Gini.
I beg you, don't write anything into your work when you don't have a way you have defined them. You should have your definitions right below before you even show me. You should have it right below so that when I ask you what is it, you don't fumble. I don't mean you should look into your book somewhere and show me. I mean, you should write it here as well. Is it because I didn't write it here, you are struggling to know what the Gini index is? Your corruption perception index, are they in percentage or not?
They are on a scale of 1 up to 100. That's how they represent them.
Is that the way they write it? Is it perceptive or perception?
It's perception.
Go and double check. Now, interest rate should be one of those that will come last. All the macroeconomic factors must come last.
Okay.
And when I say macroeconomic factors, I'm talking about inflation, unemployment, interest rates. They must come last. I also see that you have the FDI. Do you have the variable for it?
Yes.
Do you have
Yes,
the
I do.
variable for interest rates?
Yes.
Do you have the data for it?
Yes, I've got it. I've added it on the
Technology
other.
innovation. Is that the name they give to it?
Yeah, which one?
Technology innovation. Is that what you saw in the data source?
Yes.
What is that? What variable? What does it mean?
Okay. It's also a measure of the technology adoption in each of those countries.
Okay. Trade openness is represented as what?
It's giving us a percentage, but it's measuring the it's got elements of export and input and import for each of those countries.
Okay. Now, right now, your question is urban population and population, whether you should keep both. In the Excel sheet, have both. We need to check their correlation. If they are too highly correlated with each other, we'll remove urban population and keep population.
Okay.
So for now, keep them in the Excel. Can you go to the Excel and show me all of these variables?
Okay. I'll do it just now. Okay, I'm there. I've locked it under other variables. Is it showing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on column E, it's population. Then I'll try and track on the other side. And column M is the urban population.
So column M is in which unit? And
column M is percentage. Then the other one, column E, it's in real numbers.
why?
That's how I got it on the data source.
Okay. Let me see. And this one is for how many countries?
It's for 16 countries.
How many years?
10 years from 2012 to 2022.
Okay. I think you are the only one who has the best of data. Now, they're going to go through each one of them separately because none of this is input or output, isn't it?
Yes.
Good. So let's start them one by one. Income group. I'm fine with that. Digitalization. What is the highest value? What's the lowest value?
Okay, I think I had 66, if I'm not mistaken, the highest, and the lowest being 0.
So higher means what?
It means the country is adopted more technology, or it's digitalized, and the lowest means they haven't adopted a lot of digital.
What is the highest value here? Did you say
I think it's 66. I think it's 66. I can just try and see it. I
telling
remember
me that
it
some
was
of them
66.
are point something and others are 66?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the range? What's the range?
It's 0 up to 100.
And some of them have 0.5.
Some they haven't adopted a lot. They've been rated as 0.
I get it. I just want to understand it.
Yes.
So some are very, very poor, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. And based on the values you are getting, does that agree with your notion of the countries that are supposed to be doing well? Are they the ones having the big numbers?
Yes, like yes, I've looked at the higher income ones. I think I've got one. I think it's Seychelles, and it's got the highest digitalization, and the middle to higher income, like your Angola. I think it's South Africa.
Let's focus on highest. The highest countries are what?
It's on Africa. It's only this higher one.
No, focus on your data. Focus on your data and tell me the highest countries are.
The highest, it's Seychelles.
Okay, followed by.
The other ranges, it's South Africa. Data just below it.
Okay, take the latest data. Take the latest data and talk to me. Where is the latest data? Where are you going? Stay where you are.
Let me quickly
scroll down and tell me that. Why are you going up? The app is 2012. I'm interested in latest.
Yes, I want to show you. Okay.
Oh, you're going up. You say you want to show me.
Yes, I wanted to filter it immediately so that you can see which one is highest income. What are the ranges for those on
so you want to sort it by year?
No, not by years. You will see them by year, but I will take it. Like, can you allow me a second, Doc?
Yeah, delay me. What is allow me a second? This looking at what you are doing. I'm tired.
Yes, if you look at this higher income, yes, just look at this one, Doc.
But why would you want to? When you do that, what you are doing is that you are just what do you call it? You are just prejudging. I don't like this one. Go back. I want to compare. I rather want to look at, arrange the values, and then we see the highest values, not higher income. So you are presuming that the moment you are higher income, you are automatically going to do well, isn't it?
I wanted, yeah, it's fine. I wanted you to see the.
Just give me the highest values. I will detect which higher value is higher income or which country. Just give me the highest value.
It's Seychelles, it's 66.
No. Now you have just assumed higher income. Go back to the values. I'm interested in the value.
The value is indicative on column D.
Can't you arrange digitalization according to highest value?
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll do that.
Okay. Where are you going? Just click on that same arrow.
No,
where are you? No, I wanted. Is moving too much. Stay one corner. Here, where were you going to? We're going to the top. Can't you sort in descending order? Largest,
yes, I was
smallest.
looking for that, and you said, yes. So then you said where I'm going.
No, stop. It was there. Stop. Where you went before, it was there already. Marata Puyaya. Dumisani.
Okay, I've stopped.
Stop and go to where you went to, that little arrow under digitalization. Why are you confusing us? Yes. Can't you see largest to smallest when you click on that thing? Can't you see the first row? Top.
Yes.
No. The cursor should go up.
Yes.
You're on that color. Yeah, can't you see? Stop. Can't you see largest to smallest? Or you didn't know this before?
No, I didn't know on this. I know it's
I can see
always
that you didn't know. That's why you're keeping moving everywhere. Just click largest to smallest.
Oh, I've clicked the other way. Okay. Apologies. Okay, there you are. There's 66 I was talking about.
This way, I will look at it myself, and then I will know. So you're not the one supposed to tell me that, all higher income earners. No, I can see it. You can see that some upper middle income are also there. Are they not?
Yes, hence I said they are following.
So I needed the numbers. I didn't need your assumption because your first assumption was a judgment. So Seychelles are doing well and all of the others are doing well. But I didn't want it to be like the one you showed me, where only higher income earners are at the top. Here too, you can see the upper middle are at the top. And Botswana is there as well. Mauritius is there as well. But the first one you showed me, they were all Seychelles. All right. In fact, I have a question for you. You have some wonderful data, but I have a question for you. This classification of higher, upper, middle, where did you get a classification from?
From the World Bank.
Good. You have to indicate the source of that classification. You really have to indicate that and reference that because that is important. The classifications are how many groups? Are they 4?
Yes, there are 4.
That is good because it means our work will do it along that pathway. But that's a wonderful point to do. Okay, let's go to, so I'm fine with digitalization. It's 100%. The higher is better, the lower is smaller. I understand the income group. Population, I get it. Inflation, I get it. You have inflation to be negative for some of the values?
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
Okay, I've looked especially those countries, most of them, the inflation that was negative. It's most of those countries are, what is it? Their currency is depleted.
All right, it's okay. Let's move on. Unemployment, I'm fine. Guinea, all of this, you have to explain each one in a kind of a table form. You understand that table I showed?
Yes.
For each of these variables. I'm fine with unemployment. I'm fine with Guinea index if you explain it well to me. Corruption, the value you have here is rather control for corruption, isn't it?
No, it's represented, it's indicate, this one, it's got the ratings indicated.
Okay, so it's the actual value of corruption.
Yes, it says CPI.
And higher means what?
0 means you are corrupt, if the country is corrupt, and the higher it goes, it's the cleaner you are.
The higher what?
The higher it goes, 100% means the country is not corrupt.
Okay, so guess something. It means that as the values increase, the incidence of corruption falls.
Yes.
As the values come down, the incidence of corruption rises.
Yes, that's correct.
So you see, the problem here is that when you go and do your regression, it means that a higher value of corruption should lead to, a higher value of corruption is good, isn't it?
Yes, I think this one I need to indicate. I just took this corruption weight, but it's called it's CPI, Corruption Perspective Index.
CPI.
Yes, CPI.
It's not corruption, but you keep using perspective, and I think it's not perspective. It's corruption perception index. A double check.
Yeah.
But it's okay if you write just corruption here. It's okay. I understand. But I just want you to understand the interpretation.
That is okay.
I want you, between you and I, if what you are saying is true, if what you are saying is true, I want you to understand that we expect that there is a negative correlation between corruption and energy efficiency. I want to repeat. We expect that there's a negative correlation, which means that the higher the value, there's a positive correlation between corruption. There's a positive correlation between corruption and energy efficiency.
Yes.
So when the corruption value is high, energy efficiency is high. When the corruption value is low, energy efficiency is low. And when the corruption value is high, when it is low, it means
the country is more corrupt.
Energy efficiency
should be low.
Should be low, exactly.
Should be low, yes, should be low.
Okay, energy efficiency should be low. So we expect a positive relationship between corruption and energy efficiency. You see the way I've analyzed it? That is how we have to analyze all the other variables. We expect a positive correlation. So when you check the coefficient of corruption and the value is positive, what it means is that then it means that these countries are not that corrupt.
Yes.
Or it means that these countries are very less in corruption.
Yes, that's correct.
And therefore, that is why they are experiencing a higher energy efficiency.
Efficiency, yes.
So keep that positive relationship we've just discussed in your mind.
All right.
Okay. Then you have interest rates. I'm fine with interest rates. FDI. This FDI, I told you to get the definition for it. Do you remember?
Yes.
Good. I hope you have. I'm fine with this one. Technology innovation, get the definition. And then urban population, you already have population. I would have wished that you bring population and urban population closer to each other, like L and M, so that anytime we have them, because one of them will be removed as time goes on. By the way, you remember I told you that all the macroeconomic indicators should come last.
Yes.
So arrange it in such a way that the following I'm about to mention will come last. Arrange it in such a way that what I'm about to mention will come last. If you are ready, I'll mention them. Are you ready?
Yes.
So the last columns should be, they should start with unemployment, interest rate, unemployment, inflation, interest rate.
Okay, for now, I'll just highlight them. I'll highlight them so that I'll move them.
You got it?
Okay.
Good.
Yes.
All right. So here's what we have. We have all of this. These are beautiful. And then you have the input and output. Now go back to your input and output. It's beautiful what you have here. So now, can you go to your R studio? Or you are the one who has computer problem?
Yeah, if I'm opening it, it freezes me now. Yeah, with this program.
You have a lot of things open now.
Yes, I'm on
But R is not helping any one of you. Mojaji, I've used the whole day for you guys. 4 hours.
No, let me try and open it. If the communication goes down, I will try and close it and come back again.
The way you are almost done with your work. I like to kind of work with you more than anybody. I like to work more with the people who are ready. I mean, fully. You seem to be ready for analysis. And that is where I'm dying to help.
Try and close the other stuff here for now.
Papa, you're opening it, right?
Yes, it's opening, but it's just
So you
showing
know
me
what I can do, right? I mean, since you have done enough, I can help you. Can you send me this data set whilst you are trying to open? Can you also send it to me?
Okay, I'll do that just.
Can you send me so that I surprise you?
Yes, I'm doing that. I can't wait for the surprise. Okay, I'll just try to close the R for now because it's making the system very slow. Just bear with me.
Pardon?
I was saying I'm closing the R because it's making the whole system very
Yes,
slow.
close it. You
Just
close
bear
it
with me.
and send me the Excel. I'm going to do the rest of the work for all of you here. And then, and in fact, when I'm starting this work, I'll stop the recording and start the recording again so that this part will be new. I hope the rest are not just gone to sleep or church or that. The way the place is quiet.
We're here, Doc.
Yeah, yes, I'm moving it now to the. I'll drop it on the WhatsApp just now.
You're all here, right?
Yes, Prof.
Yes,
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 we're
Doc.
here.
I just
Doc, we're
had.
here.
Yeah. Me too. I'm tired, but I want to get this thing over with because I just don't want a situation where this week all of you are contacting me. Because I know you're going to be coming. So what I'm going to do is run this thing, show you. Then when all of you get your data, you do it yourself. In fact, I'm going to go to a new section of my work. And then do this thing for all of you. Professor.
I've sent it on the WhatsApp, Doc.
Okay. Just a second. I want to save it. Yeah, I can remember digitalization more than your name. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness. So I'm saving it as digitalization. I'm sorry, Dumisani.
Yes, Doc.
I'm saving it as digitalization data. Can you imagine?
It's a very long way.
Yeah, I've just saved it as digitalization. No, don't worry. I have made my system in such a way that these long words are rather coded in short forms when it comes to R. Okay, guys, get ready. Confirm if you can see the screen.
Yes, we can.
Don't worry, I have a lot of R codes. And so you might see, but I'm going to call it a name. And to do that, I'll bring triple star and say Dumisani. Dumisani, is that your first name?
Yes.
So at home, what do they call you?
They call me Dumisani.
Nobody says do me.
Yeah, very few, but Dumisani is more.
Oh dear, your name is longer like mine. All right, so I've created some codes I'm about to do for you. So we're going to load your data, but the first thing I want you to notice this. I want to open the data and show you something interesting. So let me just go to your data. I hope you guys are eating. Those of you who are not talking. Because those of us who have been talking, we have been talking all through. So Dumisani and the rest of you, what is good about this work I'm about to show you is that Dumisani is doing both efficiency as well as regression. So that's why his data is very, very powerful. And in doing the efficiency, you need the input and output, as you can see here. Please, can you see the Excel? All of you.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Doc.
Yes, okay, Doc.
So I'm going to show you, this is the column, which is country, the year. There are 16 firms, countries, the year. These are categories. We call it dummy variables. So they are categorization. I just double click to close it. Okay. In fact, let me stop here. Let me stop the recording and then restart for this purpose so that you guys can focus, because we've done a lot of too many things.